Another video on the diversity.
What a wonderful topic, huh?
Oh yeah, it doesn't really cause many problems that I know of.
Okay, let's get
Um,
going. YouTube likes me. Oh my God, it's better than last time, so that's always good to see. Welcome and good afternoon. This is Smudcast number 192. Diversity isn't political, and just as a general logical, reading the sentence and going, yeah, you're right. Diversity isn't political. It's
not
just
inherently.
a term you could use to describe how complex a system is and how many elements there are and how homogenous it is or not,
And how
or
many black people there are?
how many black people there are in a system, or how heterogeneous the system
Oh.
is, or whatever. So we could all relatively philosophically say, yeah, taken from the abstract, you're right. But in most cases, when people are talking about inclusion or this or that, where people are counted, their heads are counted, and they say this person's this person's that, it suddenly becomes an issue of who is going to enforce the rule of making sure we have an even number of this or that. So then politics rears its ugly head, and you get all these wonderful questionnaires at the end of your interview for your job you thought you were going to get about what background are you and how old are you and do you believe in God and all these other bizarre questions. This happens pretty much everywhere you go to work in Canada. It's not mandatory, but they like to know these numbers for whatever reason. So, yeah, that's how it goes. Anyway, we got Glib in the cast. He's waiting on his tech issues, or maybe he's heating up a pizza. I have no idea what Glib does. We have Wisp and Zach. How's it going, Zach? You okay?
Doing good.
You're
Doing good.
okay.
Just finished clearing out of the army today.
Oh, this was your last day? You're cleaning up your stuff?
I did all the paperwork. Everything's done. I am out as of April 5th. I'm just on terminal leave right now. But yeah, on paper, everything's done.
Cool. Nice to hear. All right. Well, glad to hear you're on your way to bigger and better things like school. That's always nice to hear. Always a good idea to go to school, depending, of course, on the course. But whatever you feel is best for you, that's always a good choice.
I'm gonna do a lot of drugs.
That could be a bit questionable, but I just had some Alberta
I feel like I got it
whiskey.
down. I feel like I got it down. I know, I've seen all the mistakes that like the people back home make, like all the meth heads.
Oh,
I think I know what to avoid. So it's like I think I could do meth without fucking. I
oh,
can't.
okay. I was just having a drink because I like to drink, but I was toasting Christopher Plummer. If you guys don't know, Christopher Plummer died, and he was a very well-known Canadian actor, Shakespearean actor. For the longest time, this dude was amazing. But
I knew him from The Sound of Music.
Yeah, you see him all throughout cinema and stage productions, and he was doing, I think, was it Prospero from The Tempest a few months back at whatever. I don't know what stage plays are being played at Stratford here in Ontario, but apparently, you can't go to these things, but they were filming it, I guess. So, wow, he's still acting. So, what a guy.
So Smud, I have good news for you.
What's the news?
Number one, I got a notification that you're going live, so that's cool.
That's
number
good.
Two, me singing Amy Winehouse in my car by myself with no music actually playing. I was just singing Amy Winehouse without music. I just got a notification from Spotify saying, we noticed you like Amy Winehouse. Here's more songs from her.
Really?
Okay.
And slight concern.
So was it a karaoke thing? And they like, hey, I can't wait to try that one. And there it was. I love it. And now I'm singing Amy Winehouse.
What devices did you have with you?
I just had my phone, and I was just in the car. And there was no I didn't have the radio on. I didn't have my phone on Spotify or anything. It was like the song Valerie came into my head, and I just started singing it to myself.
Message coming in.
And
patching it through.
Yeah, I just got that notification from Spotify. Thank you, Spotify, for spying on me.
All right.
I appreciate it.
I'm so glad my
message coming in.
Childhood was
patching it through.
Raised on classical music and Bach and Schubert and Chopin. So when I think back,
you can hum those too.
What's that?
Oh, wait. Never mind. You're making a thing about Spotify.
Yeah, I'm just saying my music tastes. I don't really listen to music per se because I have YouTube. I'm too busy reading and watching videos, and sometimes I'll have a track for putting into my videos. That's about as far as my music goes. But when I was growing up, it was all classical music and playing the piano and all that stuff. So
it's so weird because I'm like the exact opposite because I was raised by a single hippie mother and all she played was 90s rock and like growing up.
I love 70s rock. My dad loves the stuff, the Moody Blues and CCR, all the good stuff from the 70s. Oh yeah, all the Rolling Stones, like really great music.
Oh yeah. I got into Green Day very early.
Oh yeah.
Like I think it was 4. Oh man.
That's when you're traveling around with your family, cross-border shopping or taking vacations, a lot of songs in the car. So, yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, my mom bought me American Idiot.
Oh yeah.
When it first released. Prior to that, she got me Dookie and Nimrod from Green Day. A lot of Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Any Kurt Cobain or Hole?
Oh yeah, a lot of Nirvana. Yeah. A lot of Nirvana.
All right. Glad to hear some Canadian bands in your repertoire. No, I don't really care. That's okay. Anyway,
Kurt Cobain didn't kill himself.
Yeah, I know. He just put a shotgun in his mouth. It's a totally different story.
The
shotgun did all the work.
CIA.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, let's get going. We got 15 and a half minutes. This should take us about 2.5 hours, depending on how much we like to ramble.
Yay!
And how much we interrupt each other. So I'll make sure to be nice and.
Wisp. There was a reason we were not on the same podcast.
Yeah, I really wanted Wisp to focus on communication with the topic, and I thought we did okay.
I managed to fill the 3 hours on my own.
Oh yeah, that was like wow, amazing. So.
Sorry. I got. And before we start, I just want to say I got another piece of fan art, and oh my god, it's so wonderful. And if you want to see it, it's on the Discord, and I already printed it out and hung it up over my computer.
See, I love recommendations because all Wisp is doing is advertising the Discord. So it's just like, hey guys, you want to see this amazing fan art? Just click onto the Discord.
I'm not getting paid, by the way.
No. We should pay Botan though. Botan's been doing a lot of work.
Mm-hmm. I actually just commissioned Botan to draw a lot of different animations of my avatar.
She does animations?
Not animations, but different like scenes, basically different poses for my little shadow person. Of whenever I'm doing reviews, and I'm actually commissioning Cedar and Botan because their different art styles are going to be used in different types of videos that I do.
Well, okay then. Nice. All right. I think we're all set to go. I guess Glib and maybe LitDev might join us. Glib is on the call, but he's always having technical difficulties. That's okay, Glib. It's either that or the pizza he's making. I couldn't tell you. But hey.
Okay, Glib, one day you'll get a computer that works.
Yeah. Between Glib and Zach, I don't think we're going to survive past 5 minutes.
What do you mean?
It's just the way these things go. But anyway, let's get started. Jake the Surgeon,
I
good.
could already read just about the title.
Message
the
coming.
Title. Yeah, the title was bad enough. Never mind the content. Jake the Surgeon, another one of these creatures. This guy, if you read the actual video, it was published this year, two weeks ago or so. He's got some interesting descriptions. You changed my life, and then I changed your life, and now we change our lives. I mean, it's okay. That's fine. Logically, that's fine.
I love that when he has his links, he just says, support my butt.
Yeah. Support my butt. Follow me, twitter.com/cuckjoey. That's always fun.
It's wait, hold on. Support my butt. Patreon is Veridis Joe. Teespring is Joey's merch center.
Yeah. I mean, whatever links he's got going, he knows what he's doing. So
His Instagram. Oh no! Wait, what is this? SuperSkeetBoyPro.exe is this dude's Instagram, and the title of his Instagram is just anus bike.
What? How serious am I supposed to take this?
yeah,
His Instagram just says Popeye's chicken sandwich philosopher.
anyway.
I fucking love this guy.
Yeah, so great names there, buddy. Hopefully he'll have nice serious.
I honestly, I hope this video is good.
Well,
I go into these blind. I want my reactions to be genuine.
all right. Let's keep
Yeah,
going.
and I don't think I could watch them alone anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
The pain would be too much.
Yeah.
I want to watch good stuff.
See, the thing is, Wisp knows his whiskey and his coffee, so we are.
It's not coffee. It's not coffee. Drinkers will hate me. This is just some
boomer juice.
No, it is just some this powder stuff that's then you just put hot water on. It's just for the caffeine injection.
Oh,
tea.
If I would, I'm a tea person. I do value good coffee, but I know what it costs to have a machine and coffee and the effort it takes then to prepare that if you want to actually have it taste good. So this is just caffeine injection. I don't take this seriously as any coffee substitute.
so long as you understand your
love-
drug, I think that's a good way of looking at it.
I'm a tea snob.
Coffee.
There you go.
I really
See,
do love coffee.
I'm a Tizan snob, but that's fine. That's totally cool.
But coffee makes me sleepy.
All right,
And
Zach.
that is something very odd.
That's why you can see on the Discord in my status. There's always a teacup.
My status is I'm drinking.
I don't know
coming
why
in.
coffee makes me sleepy.
Patching it
All
through.
right. I don't. Zach, you're just weird. I can't help you. I'm sorry.
I have noticed that about myself though. I think it's I don't know really know
I think
what's
it's the
going on
hot-
there.
I think it's the heat. I think it's
Maybe?
just it's a hot beverage and just like
What?
Maybe that's calming you down. That's
No, it's
messing with
caffeine.
your-
No, you're all wrong. What are you talking about?
I drink.
No,
I
no.
drink. Not fucking.
I've noticed
Death
this
Wish.
effect.
It's Death Wish coffee, and it's advertised as like the most caffeinated brand of coffee. It does nothing.
Okay. Oh, Zach, you got some problems. I'm just very careful. Be careful.
I
with it,
don't drink caffeine other than coffee. That's the only caffeine I drink. I drink Diet Pepsi, water, and coffee. That's it.
All right.
I'm telling you. I have sleep deprivation issues due to some medical shit, and there are times when I drink this caffeine stuff, and it gets me up to a level where I can then fall asleep for some reason. I don't know how that happens.
You guys
because
are scaring me,
before that,
okay.
I'm just super tired and exhausted and can't concentrate, and then I drink the coffee and I fall asleep.
All right. There's got to be some classical conditioning going on there that you're unaware of. I don't want to get into it. Whatever works for you guys. Whatever helps you go to bed at night.
I don't know.
I don't care. It's fine. Whatever.
Maybe we are the lizard people.
Oh, jeez.
I love this.
Anyway.
In the chat. Poor Glib. Computers don't work on the range.
Let's keep going. Alex Halo. So why do these SJWs complain about Yuri anime not being political and get mad when an anime game with Yuri or Neptunia? Oh, Neptunia. There we go. Thank you, Alex. Always Neptunia with you. And it made fun of game journalists.
Fun
I
games.
don't know exactly. They'd have to be very cognizant of all these specific types of subgenres of anime and manga.
I think the super chat answers itself in a way. Yuri is just girl on girl romance and sex, and the Neptunia games they're just fun, silly nonsense and have some Yuri in it. And
Message coming in.
they also make fun of Western nonsense, like game journalists being useless. And W's, of course, aware that the games journalists are just not games journalists. They are just propagandists. They don't care about the games. Games journalism is a thing of the late 80s, the 90s, and the early 2000s. After that, it turned into nonsense. And why they complain that Yuri, the girl on the lesbian anime stuff, is it's not political enough. It's because they want to push homosexuality in everything. It has to be political all the time, which brings us to this very topic that diversity isn't political.
Nice.
Is an absolute. Thank you. It's an absolute gaslighting lie, because these are the people. So, assuming we are watching something from someone so far on the left, which these other account names might imply. These are the people who tell us that everything is political, and that, which is an extension of their prior slogan, the private is political. So when they now say that diversity isn't political, that's just an outright lie on their part of this ideology, because they've been pushing diversity solely for political reasons. They've made race a political issue again. They've made sex, the two sexes, a political issue for some reason. When we were in the bestest of times in probably all of human history in the West, regarding these two special things. So when I say diversity isn't political, it's just wrong. The core problem with this everything is political and the private is political, which is the old slogan, is that the truth is actually that no, the private is not political. No, not everything is political. Your sexual orientation shouldn't be political. It shouldn't be a political thing. What you do in your bedroom isn't a political thing. However, the person who wants to politicize something is the person who wants to exert control over it, wants to have a say in the thing that is being politicized. So, logically, following from that is when someone says the private is political and therefore we need to make a demonstration and make placards and run around and pester politicians and become politicians and make policy about the thing we politicize now. When we say everything is political, that means the people who say that want to have control over everything. They want to have control over your most private parts of life, what you do in your bedroom, for example. And they want control over everything in your life. When everything is political, everything can be controlled politically. And that's what they want. Liberty. This has nothing to do with liberty. This is the opposite of liberty. This is authoritarianism at its very core. Liberty means do what you want. Don't bother us with your private shit. Just do what you want as long as you don't bother anyone else. That is liberty.
All right.
These people were never liberal. And in the US, they run under this term for some reason. Probably they stole it half a century ago. I don't know. But this whole sentence, diversity isn't political. This is just absolute. This is just a lie on their part. So in truth, yes, diversity shouldn't be political. But it is being made political. And one last comment on the word itself. In the German language, just 5-10 years ago, the word divers, so the German word for diverse, is a negatively connotated word, and it doesn't mean anything about race or sex. It has nothing to do with that. It just means a random assortment of thing in a group of things that are different from each other. That's all that means. But it's only been used in past decades in sentences like diverse Leute haben sich beschwert, which roughly translated means diverse people complained about something. Which the meaning of that is some random people on the corridor outside that we don't know and we don't really care about because they don't have much in their heads. They're people who complain all the time. That's what is meant with diverse people. A bunch of Karens, essentially. A bunch of Karens on the corridor complained about something. That's what diverse people meant
Message
in
coming
German just 5 to 10
Patching
years
it through.
ago. So, yeah, welcome to Newspeak. Diverse now means non. In Germany, it means non-Germans essentially.
Oh man.
All right. Well,
I was having a. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Swan.
well, no, I was just realizing that we haven't started the video yet, but
Hello.
we're getting there, folks. Don't worry.
First time with Wisp.
Yeah, we gotta rein him in, I guess, a little bit, just a little bit. But we kind of like when he talks, so I don't mind to give the floor away for a bit longer than usual. But I don't want to go over too far tonight. I know you guys are busy doing your stuff.
I've said everything I can go now.
All right.
Video.
Thanks, Cliff.
I'm not in the army anymore. I'm not busy.
Okay. Anyway, let's try and keep on going. Jake the Surgeon, they know your secret, Zach. Run. I think. Are we talking about your cats?
It's talking about the musicism.
Oh. All right. All right. Non-Vitae Rex, thank you. Smudcast music episode when? I'm not a big audio guy, just so you know. Just because I have my grade 8 Royal Conservatory doesn't mean, I did anything with it. I practiced as a kid. I know how to read some sheet music. That's about it. But other than that, I like silence. I like to write in silence. So, same with reading. I like to keep everything nice and relaxed. And at most, I'll have a cup of tea while I read, just because I get thirsty or for whatever reason. But that's it. So maybe I'll ask some other guys if someone is a big audiophile. We can certainly set that up. I do know we're doing a big Smud
Glib
talk
is.
tomorrow about Mass Effect, but that's just because the news is Mass Effect. I saw Miranda's butt was on Twitter,
That's
trending,
so fucking dumb.
which is hilarious. But fine.
Why is this on your?
I don't know. They change things in games for some dumb reason, but it's
don't.
their game. They can do what they like. That's fine. Anyway,
What? Think of the children. Ah, yes, the children.
The children.
Playing a mature plus 17 plus game.
yeah,
right.
for
my
a
bad.
mature game with dating and killing and all this other stuff. Can't show.
Right, I forgot. I can't have those children.
Yeah, we have a
seeing
girl
the butt.
with belts on her chest and full body tattoos. It's like, yeah, no, that's fine.
It's not. That's not even. It's just like it. This is a mature 17 plus game. Meaning,
We had this discussion when Mortal Kombat 1 came out.
you should. If you're, so I used to work at a GameStop, and you would have these like shitty little teenagers, like 14 years old, come in there on their own and try to buy the newest Call of Duty or Grand Theft Auto or whatever. And I would tell them no. They're like, "What? Come on, I'm here to pay for it." I'm like, "Dude, look at the rating. You should not be playing this. If you're a teenager and you're like if you're a kid and you don't fall under the age rating of a certain game, you shouldn't be playing it because it does warp your mentality. Ever so slightly.
Mine was
not making you more violent, but making
Yeah, no, I worked at
or even the online aspects.
I worked at a video game retailer as well, and the game I sold was Duke Nukem, and the mother came back with it, and I was like, I can't. I mean, we don't do returns. I'm sorry. You bought that rented, or you bought a rental, and it's like that's it. Like, I'm sorry, I can't take it back. So, yeah,
We have age ratings for a reason.
But it's always the parents that then. So the kid can't buy it, then the parent comes back or the kid comes back with the parent, and the parent buys the game.
Yeah.
And then the parent complains about what's in the game.
Exactly.
Oh my god.
And
Dude,
it's always the same thing.
Wisp, you just reminded me of this fucking rant I heard on a podcast. But I'll keep it short, but the general gist of it was like, it's never the kids that are gonna get offended. Right? When something's mature, it's never the kids that are gonna get offended.
Yeah, the
Like
kids love it.
something says fuck on the screen.
Yeah!
The kid doesn't like, oh my god, I'm offended. He just start freaking out. He's just like, he said the fuck word. Oh, my mom didn't hear that. No, why? Because it's the parents who get offended.
Yeah,
by all
what I
that.
said it's what I said yesterday.
What are parents?
It-
Parents are
yeah.
adults. Why are adults getting offended by dumb shit?
Yeah, why are adults buying
Adults
adult
getting
rated
offended by
stuff
adult
for their
shit.
kids? Yeah. Hey parents, are you buying vodka for your teenagers? Are you buying porn magazines for your teenagers? Why are you buying adult games for your teenagers?
Jesus fucking Christ.
That's the problem. You parents are the problem. You're helicopter parents on the one end, but at the same time you give your kids the things they shouldn't have. That we labeled as, don't give this to your kid, for fuck's sake. And yes, there's always the individual kid that's ahead of his age. But that's on the decision of the parents, after all. These labels are for the shops to not get into trouble for selling stuff to kids they shouldn't have, because we don't know the kids. We don't know if your kid is 5 years ahead of his age or 2 years behind. We don't know that. That's what the ratings are for. We hope that it's kind of right. That kind of fits. So when you hit the random number printed on there, then you can play. Because that's where we roughly estimate that the child is developed enough mentally, the brain is developed enough that it can process what the fuck's even going on. Because believe it or not, teenagers don't have a fully developed brain. They have some faculties that are not even there yet, and not fully there yet. They're still growing. And that is very confusing for a brain when you suddenly add a new department to the whole thing. So puberty is a lot of shit, not just because of hormones, but also because your brain grows entire new parts.
All right. Let's keep on.
I need my whiskey now. I threw my caffeine.
Oh, no, you're switching. Oh, no. Okay, well, whatever works for you. Okay. Jake
It's
the
a very
Surgeon.
inoffensive whiskey, don't worry. And it's not for children.
It's just 40% alcohol. It's very inoffensive. Okay.
Yeah,
Is there a whiskey for children?
It's
no.
just a Jameson. It barely has any taste.
Irish
Oh,
whiskey
wait, no.
is...
Wait, children's whiskey is just apple juice.
Oh. What the hell? Anyway, let's keep going. Jake the Surgeon. If it's not political, why do they bring up political topics while talking about diversity? Get your noggin jogging. I bet within the 15 minutes he will bring up some of those issues. So, yeah, we'll find out. Cal Rocket. Maybe he's saying, stop making diversity political. It's not. That would be nice. That would be great. I think he does make a few of those comments. Let's find out. Again, Cal Rocket. That don't even sound attractive. You mean I'm a drink that and die? What are we
Referring
talking
to the Death Wish coffee.
Oh. Well, that again, there's lots of ways to brew coffee. You can brew it weak, strong, etc. So it depends on how you like your coffee. But
don't drink the coffee for taste. It's just about the caffeine.
I like the taste.
Everyone has their own preferences to coffee.
I also put a little, just like a teaspoon of vanilla flavoring or vanilla syrup.
Really?
To my coffee.
That sounds sweet. Wow. Okay.
Ooh, it's nice.
Damn.
All right. Well, everyone likes their coffee their own way. I don't even touch coffee, but I'm glad to know some people like it differently than straight. Always good to hear. So, keep going. Joe Crazy. Same drink my Death Wish coffee all the time, and it does nothing for me. I'm not.
Yeah, you're probably just used to the caffeine at this point. Because
yeah.
that normalized. It's like any drug. You are now used to this level of caffeine. When you drop the caffeine now for 2 weeks, you will feel like a wet sack of potatoes. But give it 2 months, and first cup of coffee you will then drink will explode in your head like the first you ever drank.
I have met some ladies growing up that were addicted to coffee, and not pretty. not a good look, girls. So, yeah. Anyway, Punished Berserker. Hey, how you doing? Glib's too busy with the 18 naked cowboys there at Ram Ranch. Okay.
Don't get him started on Ram Ranch.
I don't even want to get started. Jake the Surgeon. Glib and Shiny are reenacting the Revolutionary War with their junk. What? I'm glad that Glib can't hear you right now. Or maybe he fixed his audio problems. I don't know. But anyway, don't get him started. Let us get started on the video. That'd be a great idea. Okay, let's get going.
Oh boy, another one discussion about media and representation and erasure. People seem to love those a lot, and it totally doesn't result in comment section discourse at all, ever. Boy, I sure hope no problems come from a video like this. Cosmo, do you think they're ready for a very probably boring discussion video on it? You're already bored. You don't want to hear what I gotta say. You don't want to hear a damn thing. He's ignoring me. This will be interesting to say the least, I'll tell you that much.
We already talked about your video before.
A few days ago, one of my friends.
I like his editing style so far.
It's fast.
Yeah.
It's
And he has
nice,
a different voice
fast,
to me,
punchy.
which is very good.
Yeah, it's pretty punchy. It gets to the point, tells a few jokes, and all right.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go.
And that intro wasn't like the audio balancing is nice, and the intro was short. Showed his logo. Carrying on with the video.
In a post and I got along the lines of an obviously unofficial report that Spider-Man was finna have a boyfriend or guy love interest in the new upcoming movie. Obviously not true, but it sparked a bit of debate amongst us, seeing as some people have a problem with newer versions of characters having their sexuality changed for newer and more modern stories. And while this may sound kind of dumb and unimportant to complain against to some, I actually feel very inclined to. And this isn't an unpopular opinion either, as a lot of people do find the changing of a character's sexuality wrong, but I respectfully have a problem with them having a problem with that. Here's why. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck.
Wait.
Okay,
He just said he doesn't have a problem with other. He does have a problem with other people having a problem, and then he says, "I don't give a fuck."
No, he doesn't give a fuck about the character being changed for diversity purposes.
Let me hear that one more time. He went a bit. Let me just. Yeah. Okay.
People do find the changing of a character's sexuality wrong, but I respectfully have a problem with them having a problem with that.
So he has a problem with people having a problem. Okay.
Yeah.
And then he says, "I don't give a fuck."
He's in favor of the changing.
Yeah, he doesn't give a fuck that the character changes. He jangling keys.
I don't know. Maybe he's deliberately confusing, or just doesn't even realize it. I don't know. But I already have a problem with the editing here, because at one point he's showing Princess Bubblegum and I forgot the name of the vampire girl. It's so long ago that I watched this show. They do have an attraction and care for each other, but they are entirely new characters. There's nothing been changed about them. The original creator has been about them from the beginning, and then he shows the She-Ra stuff, which is changed character. So those are two completely different things.
Yeah, I can always tell the character design on one of these projects, because a lot of the times these projects have very hideous character designs. I always found Steven Universe character designs to be absolutely hideous. I don't know why they insist on having these weird character designs where
everyone's round and fat.
It's weird.
There's no edge, there's no angles. Everything's just round and it's very odd. Even
Steven Universe, or whatever his name is in the show, even him, who is, I believe, canonically male, is a genderless thing. I don't know why they want to do all the time.
He's a little fat kid.
Yeah.
Message
Like
coming
he's a
in.
little fat kid with Oedipal
Patch it
mothers and neglectful mothers.
Because we need to embrace fat, not shaming. Don't fat shame, because people fat, they get hurt feelings.
Oh, you can't say
they run away, and then they lose weight, and then they're like, "Oh my god, I'm not fat anymore." Haha, dumb fat, and it just breeds more fat hate. So just,
what have I missed so far in this one? What's his argument? What has his argument been so far?
Apparently,
you
with
missed
this,
the
stuff?
intro.
I mainly stalled until you're here.
What he ended up
There we
saying
go.
was he doesn't like the fact that other people don't like or have a problem with the change of sexuality of characters, and then he says, "I don't give a fuck," and you're like, "Wait, what?"
Wait a minute.
He has a
Is the troll video?
No, he doesn't give a fuck about the sexuality of characters, of established characters changing.
But they do, though. Like, that's been established by the LiteratureDevil community. They do have a problem. If you make a gay character straight, it's a big problem. They don't like it, so they do have a problem with it.
But straight character gay, okay.
It's only fine one way. That's very exclusive. It's not inclusive at all.
That's heteronormative behavior, old D. You're being very racist.
Here is Jake the Surgeon. Let me replace
coming in.
Lois Lane
Patching it
with
through.
Big Johnson. I'm sure that won't do any damage.
Okay.
Yeah, just do that. Diversity
Oh
is
my.
political. Like it's really it's very political. It's usually when you have like
I'm not Lois Lane now. I'm Tyrone.
If it wasn't political, we wouldn't be talking about it.
And then, because they made the idea that when they say diversity is political, when the very concept of this needs to be more diverse is political. They've made it such where the idea of diversity being added or concentrated on in fictional works is the idea of you must have so many X characters from X minority in your show to be inclusive. Now, usually when a writer or a creator of any kind kind of makes their fictional work, will they have characters? Will they have a diverse cast? It's possible. Usually because it's made out of necessity. It's made out of not from peer pressure, but out of organic writing. So you have maybe your setting is maybe in a metropolitan area. Of course, you're going to have a deluge of different kinds of people in there. So obviously, your cast will organically be made up of people with various sexualities and races and backgrounds. But if you have your setting is somewhere else, then yeah, you're going to have maybe in the rural area, you're going to have more of a one track sort of character, like maybe all the same community and everything, same cultural background.
A big example: Lord of the Rings. There's not a single black person in Lord of the
Message
Rings.
coming in.
It's very
Patching
much
it through.
dependent on the setting, and I can't wait for the day that Lord of the Rings starts catching flack for being racist.
It already has.
Haven't you
already
noticed
had.
in the Hobbit that in
Excuse
that,
me?
in that swamp village they had some random black people?
But there's no black people in Middle Earth.
It's been getting hit for being racist for years now because they.
Uh,
Guess why? Guess what? It has to do with orcs. I mean, I'll just say that.
Well, go on. Okay.
You really missed this part.
I guess I missed. I love Lord of the Rings,
They,
and I just hang
there's-
out with people that love Lord of the Rings too.
the SJW people say that orcs are black people, and that Tolkien hates black people because he
Wow,
made them
that's
bad
really
guys.
racist. That
Yeah,
you would
isn't
think
it? Yeah,
orcs
it
are
is.
related to black people.
Yeah, they see orcs. They see black people and see orcs. That's the SJW. No, the compassionate people.
That's why they're now on a complete crusade against Dungeons and Dragons, similar role-playing games, and fantasy role-playing in general.
That's really fucking racist.
Because they are the people who think that orcs are black people and gnomes
You're the only one
and
that
goblins
thinks
are
this.
Jews, and it's insane. These people are so fucking racist.
You're
It's
fucking
unbelievable.
insane.
until the SJW weirdos came along, I never once thought, orcs, black people. Okay, I never once thought that.
Message
Like,
coming
wait
in.
a minute, they see wow,
Patching it through.
really? You see orcs and you see black people, and we're the racists? Okay, sure.
Wow, why would you bring that up? What the fuck? Oh my god. All right. Well, I'm surprised they didn't go the easy route. There are no black people in Lord of the Rings.
That's not good enough. It's not heavy enough.
That's the easy route. Why are there no
Did the white
Neglect
people who allied with Mordor or something on the big elephants?
those were the Easterners.
Yeah, the
The Easterlings, and
Yeah, but they're at least
they're actually
darker
called the
skinned.
Black Easterlings because they were basically corrupted by Morgoth during the creation of the world or during the creation of man.
Good thing with
So-
elves or orcs. Orcs supposed to be like the corrupted elves.
Yeah, orcs were
Yeah.
tortured. Elves were enslaved, tortured, to the point that their genetic code changed.
Yeah, but they don't care about the SJWs don't care about lore. They only care about what they superficially perceive.
Lore is just
And their
dumb fan
pattern
stuff,
recognition
Liz.
tells them these are humanoids with dark skin that are violent, so they must mean black people. That's all they see. They don't care about lore. They don't know any law about anything.
But we're the
Maybe
racists.
just all throughout human history, back to the caveman days, darkness bad. So when we
They
make
also
a
don't care
dark
about-
when we make a dark colored monster, it's supposed to be ominous.
Okay, when I say they don't care about law, that also means reality. They don't care about reality law, known as history. They don't care about it.
When you have subjectivists already discounting entire swaths of reality so that their TLJ movies can be seen as awesome and good by everyone. Masterpieces, you could say.
Not only that, they forgive the things they do admit to. It's like, that's fine. I can
By the way,
forgive that. It's like, really? Thank you. That's great.
if you look in the chat, Punished Berserker just sent me that.
Yeah. And Zach, rewatch the Hobbit movies and watch
I
the
don't want
people in
to.
that. Yeah, I understand that. I don't want to either. But if you do,
You lost me at Hobbit movies.
if you do, watch the populace of that dump swamp village. You will find an astounding amount of
Lake
weird token people there. There's tokens. There's token people with
good.
with diverse racial backgrounds in that swamp village in a medieval setting where, in medieval Europe, people didn't travel very far. And this is the thing that annoys me so much, that the SJWs don't understand any of this at all. In medieval times, people didn't travel very far. I mean, technically, they don't much today. If you look at how the genetic populations of places, they don't intermingle that much. It only happens in big cities. But what I want to get at is, even when, assuming there is this historical exception of this one black family came all the way from Africa, went to some part of Central Europe, settled down in a village, was accepted and everything, give it 2, 3, 4 generations, and there will be no trace left of their genetics. Because they've been the only people that came from so far away, and nothing reinforces their genetic coding. So for a generation, people would be a little more dark skinned, and after that, it would just fade out.
So
on
the screen
recently,
easily.
on the screen, I just want to share that meme from Punished Berserker, just so you guys know what we're talking about here. Anyway,
yeah. Do you want to read that? Or...
No, I just wanted to show it. That's fine.
Okay. There's this. I don't remember the name of the show because I didn't watch it. Where there's the Spanish noble queen that they decided would be played now by a black woman, when the original one was as fair skinned as anyone else, because 15 generations ago.
Message coming in. Patching it through.
She was the one of her mothers 15 generations ago, grandmother, happened to be a Muslim. And when you then looked that one up, that was also relatively fair-skinned, because Muslim isn't a skin color. And this is especially when we look at certain countries now, Syria, Iran, for example. But they decided, because 15 generations ago, someone had a Muslim relative. That means that now in the present, when we do a historical show about something, that person needs to be played by an African for some reason, and it doesn't. So I'm sorry, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, I don't understand the idea that they think that all people from the Middle East are all black. Like this, it's not true. There's a lot of more fairer skinned individuals. Also, there's a thing about the Muslims, I believe, the forces from that area of the world had invaded Spain and held on to it for, like, I think a couple of 100 years or so, maybe 100 years, at least 100 years.
Longer.
Yeah,
a couple more
much longer.
centuries.
Yeah, probably.
Longer than the slavery in the US. They complain about so much.
Spain?
The people from the
Ottoman Empire.
The Ottoman Empire, yeah. Which was
that's neat.
Yeah, and then
it's more like 400 to 700 years. Or
I was thinking like 700 years. I just don't know the exact number. So I was like, at least 100. It was a long time. It's a very long time.
It's all this Mediterranean stuff: Greece, southern Italy, Spain,
and until the Reconquista. Then they kind of fought them back and kind of reclaimed the area. But it was a long time. They've held down that place for hundreds of years. So no, just because they're Muslim does not mean that they're black. Usually, I mean, it could very possibly mean that they are fairer skinned, not black.
Also
like in the middle.
Yeah, there was also a lot of slavery and rape going on at the time by the oppressors, you might say. But we don't talk about that for some reason, because that's past, it's behind us.
Yeah, we're in as they say, we're in a post-fact world. Also, they also think that the Egyptians are also black. That's not true either. Egyptians were fair skinned, specifically the Ptolemaic people.
No, they're African.
No, yeah, that's the weird thing. They think everything, if it comes from Africa, it must be black. It's not true at all. It's not. Africa is a huge continent. It's an enormous continent.
Yeah,
no,
they were
Africa black. Shut up, racist.
All right.
They were very much related to the Greeks, especially the nobles of Egypt, the later ones.
Definitely.
Okay.
Like, Cleopatra is often depicted in when you find historical pieces with red hair. Even it's very interesting.
Okay, we're getting sidetracked. We're going to keep going on the super chats and get back to the video, hopefully. Alex Halo, make them straight and see how much he doesn't care. You know what? That's a kind of an interesting idea. There are some obvious popular homosexual comic book characters as well as normal characters in cartoons. But the one that I remember the most, just because it was so obviously homosexual, it was, I don't know if you guys ever read The Authority. It had a character named the Midnighter, and his husband was Apollo. And the reason why this was such a big thing is because the Midnighter is like an evil Batman. Like, imagine a souped up Batman who kills people. It takes delight in killing people. And this is a hero. This is a hero character. And his husband is basically Superman. He gets his power from the sun. He flies around. He's super strong, etc., etc.
He's still. Hopefully, he's good. Hopefully, the Superman husband is like noble and lighthearted and everything. That'd be pretty funny.
It's so funny because if you put these guys and you made them straight, first off, you'd piss off all the SJWs. You'd piss off the actual fans of the show of the comic, because it's like, this is like what they're known for. They are super powered gay guys, and it's like, yeah, this is what you expect. Like French kissing in the open and going off to kill people. It's just, holy shit, this is pretty intense. So if you take that away, you're suddenly removing all the things that made it what it was known for, and why
these like, as we said, these comic book fans don't really care about the sexuality of a character. They care about their sexuality changing for political purposes and other reasons other than the story or whatever. Because this is how they were conceptualized to begin with, and we know that they're only being changed for some cringy political reasons. That's why they're angry, not because we just hate gay people. No, that's not true at all. If anyone has seen the comic book community, they are very tolerant and accepting of things. They just don't change just don't mess with their fandom. Don't mess with the characters they've enjoyed for years, possibly decades, and you won't have a problem.
Yeah.
Like, if you want a gay character, a gay superhero, make a new one. But they don't want to do shit.
It's
the same
great
thing with role playing. That role playing communities are really, really open. I mean, that's what all this is about. Be open, be creative, play something you are naturally not. Of course, narcissists can't do that. They can only self-insert themselves as Mary Sue's, and if they can't get their way, they're upset. But what role players hate is when you randomly change the law and changing these attributes of characters. It wouldn't even need to be the sexuality or race. It could be anything else. Then they get upset because, dude, you're messing with the thing I love and that has been a part of my life for a very long time. That's very dear to me, and you don't really care about it. You just want your political fetish jammed into that. And this is why I brought up the Cleopatra thing, because I remembered right now that there was because recently Gal Gadot got flagged for wanting to play Cleopatra in some reenactment movie. And I think she's a very good fit. But she was harped on by the SJWs, of course, for, Cleopatra should be played by someone actually fitting that, by which they meant someone black. And then they brought up some Muslim woman for some reason that should instead play Cleopatra. And this was why. It's all for political reasons. It's all for control of the cultural narrative in the end.
Yeah,
it's part narcissism and part control.
It gets crazy. It's you see the same thing from like the white supremacist people, where they say like, oh, everything's white. Everyone was white in the past. All the great people were white. Hey,
Jesus was white.
It's kind of like one of the similar narratives. And then over here on the other side, the one that's being actually accepted is that everyone's just black in the past.
What I find especially hilarious about the white supremacists is that, from what I can see, from what I have looked through history of my own country so far and of Europe, is that the white supremacy thing seems to have been an invention by the left that complains about white supremacy, because the Nazis didn't think in the term white. They thought in their magical Aryan race, of which, of course, most other fair-skinned people weren't a part of. Now the SJWs started to talk about white people all the time, and which seems to be coined mostly from the US hot pot, what's that, melting pot thing, where you go more by skin color than by the cultures that the people came from. And now they are redefining the word into meaning other things like meritocracy, or have you had problems getting in the US because you didn't know English? And by that definition, they now redefine that Slavs are suddenly people of color, the palest people on the fucking planet. They're not white anymore. Slavs are now, which, by the way, the Aryans, the Nazis who fought themselves as Aryans, also didn't see the Slavs as white people or Aryan people. They also saw them as some lower class of human being.
Yeah, and that's actually, as you mentioned it, from what I've heard from the alt-right people, like the real, actual alt-right people, not just you're alt-right because you disagree with me sort of thing, but like the real one, people who call themselves alt-right.
Mitch McConnell's alt-right. You hear from him all the time.
and the
people.
Oh yeah, he does. I mean, a lot of them do. Most politicians hate poor people. They just need your vote.
No, Mitch especially eats poor people.
The thing is, a lot of these the people who are actual, like the people who call themselves white supremacists, they will fight with people alongside other people who seem to be white, and then once they think they've won, they'll start kind of purifying, like just purity testing each other. All right, how white are you? Like, let's trace back your ancestry and genetics and everything.
Yeah, the joke is the black supremacists do the same in the other direction of color density.
I've seen articles on this. They demonize you if you have if you're a fairer skin. They demonize you for that.
You're white.
Yeah,
you're whiter than me. You have more white. Your percentage of white privilege is higher than mine.
Yeah. And I just realized something. Since the new definition about whether you're white or not is about meritocracy and whether you had trouble integrating into the US due to your ability to speak English. By that definition, the Germans who emigrated into the US early on, of which there are quite a lot, would also count as people of color, because Germans don't speak English well. I'm serious. We don't. That doesn't happen much. So we are people of color too.
White power.
No, we're people of color now. We're not white. We're people of
color power.
Color power. This
all power.
Glib, you have been silent for almost an hour, and your first words
white power
are white power.
Because this is such a fucking joke, dude.
I agree.
This is such a joke. Hey, how do you make the world more diverse? Right? By what? You're going to introduce
get rid of the white people, idiot.
Well, no, but how are you going to introduce more diversity? Like, that's such a stupid, mind-wiping, brainwashing tactic. Like, the world is diverse already. What do you mean when you say diversity? What do you mean when you say someone's white? And I know you guys went into all that shit, but
it means when I go down the street, I want to see people who don't look like me.
Well, that's not even it, though. That's not even it. The thing that people really need to ask themselves is if ethnicities are going to be allowed to exist in the future. Is if somebody's ethnic background, whether they're white or whether they're dark or whether they're blue or green or whatever, is still going to be allowed to exist as an identity. Because my assertion is that they're trying to destroy the idea of any of these identities in the first place. Your religious identity, your ethnic identity, your nationalistic identity, all abolished because they don't stand up to the one thing, which is that you need to eat the bugs. There's one world, one government, one order, and everybody has to mix together. That's what people want. And when you say that, people go, oh, that's a conspiracy. The truth is that all of the divisiveness that comes from this diversity and inclusion stuff is just a distraction to keep us from being able to be our unique selves.
Hey, Glib, what do they call a hamburger in California? A bug burger with cheese.
I don't know. I didn't go to Burger King.
That's an important thing about this part, what you just said. That is, why are they attacking meritocracy and individualism? And this is very, and people who want to have free speech and all that, and would stand up for that. It's very simple, because this is all one thing. Individualism, meritocracy, because you can't survive as an individualist if you don't have some meritocratic bone in you. Because those are the people that are the most likely to stand up to authority and tyranny. If you demonize that concept, if you get rid of that in people and of those people, if you divide them enough, you will have a populace that will take the D any day.
Everybody hates each other. Everybody hates each other because you're white and I'm Mexican and he's brown, and we have to compete with each other on an ethnic basis. But then underlying all of that is supposedly the idea that everybody's equal. So you get this Kafka trap. You get stuck in their little matrix. And I'm just one of those.
That's the divide and conquer. It's the oppression Olympics. Whoever was oppressed the most, whoever ancestors were oppressed most, you have, like, I guess, a higher standing in society.
People are like, "Oh, you're gonna have an opinion
for real either," because they ignore the histories of certain peoples. Like they ignore the history of the Finnish people. They just claim you have fair skin, so you are white people, so you profited from slavery. When the Finnish people never did that, they were slaves a lot of the time.
What if you adopt their matrix of thinking? Then you're going to lose, and you're not going to be able to have your own opinion. That's about all, because they can just switch it out whenever you want. I mean, LiteratureDevil talks about it all the time with how the democratic establishment type, this group of people that wants all of this one world diversity horse shit, they were like, oh, Cubans aren't Hispanic now because they voted for Trump, like that. Or your whiteness you're not white because you're white. You're white because you engage in white supremacy or something like that. It's so dumb.
Biden, you're not black.
Yeah,
all of these things. All these things are mind control. You're not gay.
You just sleep with men.
So here's the thing: you give me a reason why anybody on the planet at any given time should be at odds with each other about anything, right? Just right as a default. Why should we have war instead of peace? Why should we be having agitation between people? You tell me why anybody should have a problem with me or I should have a problem with you in the abstract, and there's no reason. Human beings aren't necessarily pitched that way. It's when we are adopting a specific identity and a responsibility for a certain thing that we start to make these disconnections, which is what they're exploiting. They're exploiting the idea that you're this and I'm that, and therefore these differences mean that we're at odds with each other. But what's funny is that the end result that they want to have is a one world thing, and the way that they're taking to get there is to have everybody fight about it, so that the ultimate result is that everybody goes, all right, you know what, we're all individuals, why don't we just They want us to just give up on specific identitarian aspects of our personalities while at the same time fighting with each other to try and preserve it. And that is like a helter-skelter method of sociology, of engineering change.
What baffles me is if you are a white person and all you hear is white people bad, white people bad, white people bad, and you try to defend yourself, racist. You're a fucking racist. Shut the fuck up, white guy. You don't know what it's like, blah, 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 blah. It's like, dude, you're calling me a racist cracker, piece of shit, like, son of a slaver.
Because you are.
Like, what?
You are.
I didn't do anything. I play video games. I don't like The Last Jedi. Fuck me.
It was unconscious bias. It was unconscious bias, and
oh right, sorry.
What is it? You were born with sin. You were born racist, and now you have to be made. You have to be made clean.
Yeah, and that's essentially yesterday's
waters of gayness, I guess.
And it's essentially yesterday's topic. Why are you calling me a thing? What does that have to do with the argument?
No, but
what does my skin color, sexual orientation, mental status have to do with whether your argument is sound or not?
It's not, because they don't have an argument. They just want to have
exactly.
They want an enemy, because the second you have an enemy, you have a mission, you have a focus, you have a drive, you have a rally cry to your cause.
Try to see it as the argumentative strategies of a 5-year-old. Because a 5-year-old will argue exactly like that and never be better. Because that you would need to grow past that at some point. And all these people, they haven't grown past it, and that is the scary thing and the sad thing. Because and this is the core of narcissistic disorders. You are stunted in your development, in a certain aspect of your development, at that age. and they cannot comprehend other things. They would have to reflect for that. And the older you get, the harder it gets to grow out of that. And the problem is that this whole social media thing, coupled with social justice, that wants to keep people this infantile, just amplifies this narcissistic notion. Here's some attention for you, but you don't need to do anything for it. Here we tell you, read the book, read our Holy Dogma book. If you do that, you're a good person by definition, and you can attack the people we paint targets on. This is how cults operate. This is how bad religion operates.
Yeah, you should join my cult, not their cult.
Yeah, my tribe's much better.
Your cult.
We attack the other tribe.
All right, let's try to get back on track, folks. Let's read a few more super chats and get back to the video. Jake the Surgeon, I'm of the opinion that Jean Grey made Iceman gay. This is specific to the all-new mutants.
I think that's actually true.
All-new X-Men, yeah. So
she actually it's canonical that she mind raped him into being gay.
Oh,
that's actually in the comic book.
There's so many comics of the not the romantic interludes, but he has a few, I don't know, relationships, like heterosexual relationships throughout the comics with Psylocke and Mystique, I think, and a few others. So why this suddenly happened, we don't know. It just occurred.
Mind rape him.
That is one of the possible things that might have happened with Jean Grey. Yeah, we don't know what she did exactly.
Fuck.
She did though. It's canonical that I think when they revamped Iceman, that was the reason why he became gay, because I forgot why exactly she was in his mind, but she was in his mind and she did something, and when she was done, he was gay. That's what they wrote about. That's the canonical background as to why Iceman is now a gay man.
Oh, LD, I know you like comic books and everything. There's a reason I don't fucking read them.
So here's
just goddamn.
Okay,
that's something else.
So we previously had Jake the Surgeon's take on Lois Lane. Here is Joe Crazy's take. Instead of Lois Lane, it's Larry Lane. You're like,
Larry
Lane. I sounds like that he would actually be the brother of Lois Lane in canonical continuity.
Oh,
that'd be funny. Like just the brother of Lois Lane, no one knows about because he's such a loser and a slacker. he might have been nothing.
Between Superman and Larry Lane, do you think Superman would be the bottom just to try something new?
No.
Well, the thing is, there's so many double L's in Superman's life, like Lex Luthor and Lana Lang and Laura Lang and all the Langs, pretty much. So it's kind of ridiculous.
Comics is so fucked now.
I just want to see the like Superman gets married to Lois Lane, and at the wedding he's like, "Who's this guy?" And Lois Lane's like, he's my brother." He's the guy we don't talk about in our family.
You know what my dream is? My dream is that one day there'll be a bunch of woke people and they'll be woke scolding everybody or whatever, and then everybody in the audience will start booing, and the people that are booing, like the lights will turn on in the audience, and everybody in the audience will be like from all over the world. It'll just be like the most diverse group of people, and they're all just booing, throwing tomatoes at the people that are like, "You need to be more woke. We need to be more woke."
I'm pretty sure that would be Twitter if they added a downvote button.
The joke is that is already the case, because I have not met a group as diverse and inclusive as anything in and around this anti-SJW circle.
I love how the gamer Nazis are such a diverse group of people from all walks of life. Gamers rise up.
Gamers. So
hello, gamers. Have you tried to fight diversity today? Did you unlock that DLC?
We just want objective.
Costs $29.99.
Oh no.
We just want objective game reviews, but you're not giving us that.
It's always funny when people are like, "We want more diversity and that kind of thing," and it's like, well, why don't you just write that into the story and make a good story? Because that's what everybody says, and they never have a response to that. They never ever have a response to, why don't you just make it good then? It is good. Last Jedi is good. Everything's good. You're just a bad man.
The response is that, well, it's media. All media is is subjective. That's a response every time. Well, somebody likes it. Well, I like it, so that's good.
Fuck
Yeah,
it
but your
then.
subjective view is the wrong one. Your subjective view must be like mine.
It's not that. Okay.
If it's
first of
also
all-
hold on a second. If it's all subjective, then that means that the marketplace determines just how much money that is. Who wants to buy into it. So then it should be a meritocracy. It always bounces back to just let things pan out, as opposed to stop trying to have a stranglehold on stuff. But these people need a stranglehold because I secretly think that most of the tyrants that exist in our culture today only exist as tyrants because their death grip on us is their death grip on relevance. Like, who gives a fuck about what Hollywood actors say about politics or what musicians are doing at the fucking inauguration? Nobody gives a shit anymore about that era of humanity. We're past like the 1990s era of tune into the Oscars and everyone's like, wow, look at how glamorous everybody is. When we tune into that stuff now, we're like, when is Ricky Gervais coming on so that he can call them all pedos or whatever? Like, let's go. Let's fucking go. I want to turn. I don't want to watch like Titanic by James Cameron. I want to watch Diesel Patches make fun of of somebody, say poopy bum bum. It's like it's not. We're at such a state in entertainment where we have all of the ability to make quality entertainment, and yet the people that are in charge of that quote unquote quality entertainment have turned it into garbage. So then the rest of the people that are around that, the cultural critics and stuff that want to uphold that quality, are now caught in this war over it. And meanwhile, we're all being told we're racist and we don't want enough diversity because we don't think that they should have a black King Arthur or something like that.
If you don't like Ray, you hate strong women.
Yeah, I
want more.
The glamour has been decentralized.
I want a movie starring Ricky Berwick. I want it to be $250 million, and fuck you. That's all I have to say.
Oh dear. Well, talking about having a new movie with a new character, here we have Punished Berserker. Thank you. I want Zac Efron for T'Challa because diversity. Well, maybe he'll sing a better song. I don't know. That might be
I want Zac Efron to play Morgan Freeman in the biopic.
What? Why?
Biopic.
It's diverse. See how good this
biopic.
argument is? If I just say it's diverse, then it's good. Look at this pancake that I'm eating with ketchup. It's diverse.
Oh
Look at all the
my
different
God.
sauces I'm pouring on this
Why?
pancake.
It would have
Whoa,
cost you
just-
$0.00 to not say that dumb shit. But you did anyway.
Is that sriracha béarnaise sauce on your
What the?
shellfish pancake?
What did you just say?
It's such a diverse plate.
Ah! Of all the things to say to me.
Next is pineapple on pizza.
No. I'm Italian. Pineapple pizza is no big deal. But sriracha on pan, come on. That's just a
My
anathema.
My Italian
is
pizza guy is very conservative about pizza.
Pineapple pizza is not the problem. The problem is long pizza. Imagine just a giant breadstick pizza. That would be.
Yeah.
Well, I've had stretch
heresy.
pizza before, but not that.
What about
one.
mayonnaise on pizza?
The flavor profile, yes, but not actual mayonnaise. No.
There's some pizzerias here that make every single one of their pizzas with creme fraiche.
Really?
Yes.
Wow, that's a fancy. Like, why would you do that? I mean, you can't.
I don't know. It's just disgusting. I just ordered that for the tiramisu.
Yeah. Huh.
But I doesn't. Can't you make a normal pizza, please?
Yeah. No. There's some really funky restaurants that they get so artisanal with their bread. And you're like, that's not pizza, buddy. I don't know what that is, but that's dough and sugar. I don't know what else it is.
So what you're saying is you want mango and guava on your pizza.
I'm just like
The
processing
evil,
that.
the evil.
Just
talk.
stop. Just give me a moment.
They're trying to cancel me in the chat, and Grey Mortal says I stand with Glib. I advise not doing that because I just farted. Moving on.
Do it, come on!
Are you
man.
Are you or have you ever been a member of the Glib Party?
The Glib
That's
Party?
right. Your social credit score goes down if you subscribe to me.
Me applying for a loan. Have you been
It says
associated
here
or been a
that
part
you
of
tuned-
the Glib Party?
You tuned into
Me
that
sweating
orange.
nervously looking at the Smudcast.
You
Can
believe in
take
that orange
credit on
supremacy?
your social?
Kind of cringe.
Sorry.
This man is a pineapple pizza eating gamer supremacist, and you're associating with him, openly associating with him.
Gamer supremacist.
So I have seen mango. I have not seen guava on a pizza before, so that's new to me. I just haven't thought about it.
That sounds disgusting.
It could be a dessert pizza. I have no idea. I've never heard of it. So
Oh man, dough and guava don't go together.
Avocado pizza.
I've seen that.
That's not so bad.
I've
That's
seen
not
that,
so bad.
yeah.
You can put an avocado, like slice it up and put it on a pizza if it's like, especially barbecue chicken pizza with some avocado.
I've seen a lot of strange things
I
with
genuinely do not like avocado.
avocados. Yeah. I don't know why.
Yeah. Or Master DX says the Glib Party is the heroes Germany. By the way, next election I'm running for chancellor of Germany. I come from a small town in Austria. Vote for me.
Yeah, I'm for it, but the Austria part worries me a little.
Österreich!
All right,
let's
going.
take this topic super seriously. While this random person with an anime profile pic shows us Steven Universe clips using the filter effect that makes it look like it's VHS, so it gives a little bit of throwback retro, little glimmer. Come on, let's go reuse content.
All right,
I like that aesthetic.
All right, Alex Halo, thank you. The female King Arthur, Saber, is the best Arthur. You know, I'll say they make cute girls very, very cute in anime. And
wait, what?
Arthur is one of them. So
Saber is best King Arthur.
Yeah, if somebody made a King Arthur like Grail myth thing, but it was just all anime waifu girls, I bet it'd be very successful. Like if Lancelot was a girl.
Well, yeah, because if it's anime aesthetic, then they're all going to look good. They won't look like these weird globs of nonsense that you get in the West.
Oh, you can't jack off to these characters at all. No way. No way. That's part of what people like.
I'm sorry, you can't masturbate to it. Yeah, that's the usual go-to. Hey, this character doesn't look too good. It looks awful. What is this thing? I'm sorry, you can't. Too bad you can't masturbate to this character. And then they go off and imagine scenarios where they fall in love and all that stuff like that. And then they go and ship the characters. Like, sure, okay, sure. It's okay when you do it.
Nothing turns me on as much as a woman with male pattern baldness, a giant egg on her head.
This is the awesome thing.
Yeah,
the SJWs hate these anime Nazis, but we are the ones who have turned King Arthur into a woman.
Yeah. Diversity. Inclusivity.
It works when we do it. You SJWs just suck at it.
All right, let's go.
That's good.
We're only a minute in. Sorry, derailed.
Here's why. I don't give a fuck. So what exactly is the topic of discussion for today? Well, basically, some people do not like new versions of old characters with their sexuality being altered, and they usually attribute it to virtue signaling or trying to appease the gays.
Yeah,
because
always
everything's
yeah, but
political
why would you
now,
need to do
apparently.
it?
The issue people are...
Huh?
I think 100% of the time I've seen them switch the sexuality of someone. It has been for virtue signaling purposes.
Yeah,
We've never had a female Thor before. Now, for the first time ever, Jane Foster will be Thor. Like, what?
Yeah, but the thing is, when you make such a change to a character, the question is always, why do you make that change to the character? Because that is a deliberate thing to do. So, did you just roll a die?
Because they're like, I don't know why.
No, the response is, why not? Do you have a problem with it?
No, that's a dumb response.
That's a good trip.
I hate that
every time it is that. It's like, yeah, I do have a problem with it. Why are you changing the character?
They beat around the bush because they really just want to take over and put their vision.
I just think you have some internalized racism if you can't handle a black Iron Man. It's like, well, Iron Man hasn't been black. Like, if you want to reimagine and start a new series of a black Iron Man where he has a completely different story, like, just make a new fucking character. Jesus, fuck.
Yeah, it's why I call it political.
Don't take my shit. We'd like the thing. Stop touching the thing.
But why do
Let
they
the
want
thing
to
be the thing?
Why do they want to replace it though? They want to replace it because they have a mission to impose what they want, which is why it's so hypocritical. Whenever somebody says we need more representation, I'm saying in response, that means you want to take away the representation that already exists. You want to alter it. So it's the opposite of what they want is what they are doing. And I see that in people all the time. I absolutely despise it when people say, I'm going to do this. And it's bad when somebody doesn't follow through on it and that, you can get upset about somebody for that. But it's even worse when they do the exact opposite of what it is that they said that they were going to do and people believe them. So when these people go, I think we need more diversity and inclusion, and they sell it as a positive and people buy into the positive, it doesn't result in a positive for everybody. It doesn't mean that there's more involvement for everybody. It means that there's only involvement in the exact way that they want to curate it. what it means is control. They want control over who gets assigned to do what, even if they have no part of the artistic process. Somebody that's not involved in this engagement at all can, from the outside on Twitter, say, where's all of the X people? Where's all of the Y people? And then there's a problem. So it's inventing and manufacturing a context. It's giving tools to people that complain. The organizations of the media and stuff, they push these ideas and these words that you hear in activism, and then the random person that feels self-righteous and wants to engage in that, they have the tools now. They can complain about race and sex and all these things, and that's why it's getting so ridiculous now. That's why you're getting people who are like this stupid YouTube chick that Bo Blacks was just talking about, who was complaining about being bullied by a channel with like 2,000 subscribers, and she's got like 100,000 or something like that. They're like, the ability for people to recognize what power actually is, what is actually in front of them, is so insane to me that I think that there are a lot of people out there that are living like what Yuri Bezmenov said, where if you took a person to a gulag, to a prison, they wouldn't, and you told them this was an educational facility, they wouldn't be able to detect that it was a prison. They would be looking at how pretty the aesthetics of the architecture is and not seeing that you're walled in, not seeing that there's no windows. You know what I mean? They're trained to look for specific things to get a specific outcome that creates a dopamine release. And with that comes that self-righteous virtue signal and the perpetuation of that culture. But they are not the originators of their thought. And that's why we have so much trouble fighting them. And that's why they get called NPCs in the memes.
Yeah,
because they're just
driven by they're driven by solely driven by the induced positivity, negativity biases, and the halo and horn effects that they have been taught at that point. For explanations of these terms, either look them up or watch some of Aiden Paladin's videos. She explains some of these very, very well. It essentially means what Glib just explained about they only see the part that they now want to see. They see the negative parts they've been trained on, and they see the positive parts they've been trained on, but they never see the whole thing. So that they only see that which fits the picture. And a very good example of this I found in the recent Ghost in the Shell movie that was made. Think about that what you will. About the quality of the movie. What I mean about that is they complained about Scarlett Johansson playing Kusanagi, the main character, because she's a lookalike. She's a perfect lookalike for that character. The Japanese loved her. But she's not Asian, so she shouldn't play an Asian character. However, at the same time, in the movie, a complete side character that was just there for a couple seconds, Saito, the sniper, originally Japanese, technically diverse by their standards, was instead race changed to a black guy. Nobody even raised a word about that. But I complained about Scarlett Johansson playing a character she actually looks like. And that is what the fans of all these franchises usually want. They like lookalike actors that make help you with the immersion of the thing. Sometimes you can make exceptions to that when the actor really fits the role well, like we've seen
Tom Cruise playing Jack Reacher. Yeah.
Yeah, or Samuel L. Jackson with what was the name?
Nick Fury.
Right. Nick Fury.
I think they had Tom Cruise, this 3'10" guy, play Jack Reacher's was like this 6'5" behemoth of a man.
And there's the one thing I wanted to add to this one, because it fits into all this diversity thing. In German, we have this saying of the scissors in your head, which is a description of one tool of censorship. The scissors in your head is essentially the internalized censorship that you already do for yourself without any law being around, without anything having been written down. It's just a thing where you already self-censor. You cut the things into the correct shapes already in your head, in your thoughts, and this also so that you don't say the wrong things, so that you don't think the wrong things, and so that you also think the right things. And this is also done with quotas, with race quotas, sex quotas, whatever quotas. That you already you don't need to write that into your legal code, but the people already feel compelled by guilt and shame and by virtue to fulfill the quotas. We had that over 10 years ago in the political party I was part of helping to build, and it was very early on attacked and subverted by SJWs. We didn't have a term for these people then at the time. We didn't really know what was going on. And one of the worst manipulators and agitators came in. She was, before that, she was working at an already established party to subvert that. Afterwards, she went to another party after we were completely wrecked. But she turned up. First time. Federal Assembly. This woman turns up for the first time and gets straightforward and wants to run for the federal board of the party. With the claims that, we are just this nerd party of just guys, and it would be unfair, and what the press would say if we didn't have a woman on the board, yada, yada, yada. And she got a lot of votes, solely out of this little dump guilt trip. And that's the thing. It's the scissors in your head. You don't need to write the quotas into law. They already happen when enough people are already shamed into, we kind of should do this, despite having no qualification in the person. This woman, she brought nothing of quality when she introduced herself. Only that she's a woman and we are sexist and we should do this and it's for progress.
Nice.
Bam.
All right. Talking about women, here's a continuation of Alex Halo's super chat. Not only that, for Saber, in the ending, Saber is a housewife. You know what? I have no recollection of that ending. Was that a limited Blade Works, or was that... It wasn't Heaven's Feel, because I don't remember that having Saber existing. So maybe I'm remembering Fate Stay Night a bit differently. But okay, I'll take you on your word there, Alex. Jake the Surgeon, thanks again. Not just King Arthur, Nero, Francis Drake, Jack the Ripper, Mordred, etc. Yeah, all the heroes from thousands of years ago. All girls in the Fate universe. Yeah. Thank you, Japan. Good job. Anyway,
but the anime fans are all sexist, misogynist, and evil people. Even though they really love these characters, even if their historical characters have been gender swapped.
Yeah.
I wonder why that is.
Huh. Joe Crazy. Glib underestimates the levels of degeneracy the Steven Universe fandom is capable of. I still have nightmares from what one of my buddies showed me.
What was the quote that I said?
No.
Did I say that like no person would want to jerk off to that? Like, yeah. So maybe the subhumans out there.
Okay, there we go. That makes more sense. Okay.
Those subhuman cartoon boys. You know what I'm talking about.
You don't really need
those chicken heads. No, I'm just kidding.
Some of those males, you don't even need a target. You just, off you go.
Come on, they don't even deserve to be called males, okay? They have to earn the title.
Well.
No, I'm just kidding. Kidding. God.
Hereby revoke their man card.
It's supposed to make people feel bad and laugh at the same time.
I know.
I can mind you, we're all going to die.
Enjoy being stepped on, okay? It's supposed to be being destroyed and stepped on. It's supposed to be
Are you telling me I have to play nice my whole life? I'm going to die one day. I don't have that much time. I mean, how many years do we have? Decades to fuck around. You really not going to let me make stupid jokes? Come on.
I posted something in the chat, something I was getting
Message coming in.
pretty riled up with today that I saw on Twitter. This chick posted, now this is the problem, and it's basically a TikTok comment section on 2 separate videos. Let's switch it up, ladies. What you doing if your man gets raped? And the comments there are really nice. Do anything for him, make sure I'm not triggering anything, keep my mouth shut, being there for him, blah, 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 blah. Then there's another video. I got a question for y'all. Would y'all leave y'all girlfriend if she gets raped? The comment section is 4 comments that say, yes, no question. No, it isn't her fault, smiley face. Yes, of course I will. Hell yeah. Yeah, there's a comment just 2 replies down that show the full reply list, and it's all men being very, very wholesome and supportive and everything. So
it's almost as if they're selective with what we see.
It goes along with what Wisp was saying. You only see the negatives that you want to see, and you only see the positives that you want to see.
It's called manufactured context. They manufacture the context so that, I guess they're right. Men are evil. But then you could probably do the same thing. There's probably some negative opinions on there from women on that subject. And you could definitely do the opposite. Like if you're one of those, I don't know, incel neckbeard guys, you could definitely do that.
Yeah, And
That's basically what feminists are. They're just like the neckbeard incel people, but just on the other side, on the other side of the fence there.
Message coming in.
So this one
Patching
tweet
through.
about these TikToks has over 253,000 likes. This kind of, I'm going to say the word disinformation, just gets shared around and liked, and haha, yes, clap, clap, men bad. And it just breeds that mentality when that is, one, incredibly sexist. Men are not the problem. And two, why the fuck are you trying to, you're actively trying to share this narrative? You hunted for those comments. You framed the screenshots in a specific way, and you couldn't even get a full screen of hate comments. You had one nice one in there. You're deliberately trying to frame a narrative that puts men in a bad light when you know that that is not the case. So what reason do you have? And the reason is control. They want to be in power. It's all power.
They're all jerks.
All wonderful control dramas and psychology online. It's fantastic. Okay, let's keep going. Alex Halo. So, like the problem Shiro has in the Fate series, fighting for an ideology that was not his own and drove him crazy. That is definitely expressed in Heaven's Feel, where he gives up his ideology and he fights for the girl he cares for. But throughout the other two stories, I believe he holds on to trying to be a hero and save everyone and sacrifice himself, etc., etc. So, yes, these are really good ideas for writing characters or protagonists. They have an ideology, and depending on how strong they believe in that ideology, or when a climax comes up, they want to control or understand what it means to be in that thing or for that thing. So that's where you get these wonderful revelation moments, and they begin to reassess what they're doing, and they make a choice, and they go in that direction. So that's always great stuff with your characters. And how you write your character is always up to you. Once you know them, you know exactly how they're going to go, and you could write them any way. It's great stuff, and that's the cool thing about that game, that visual novel that started it all off, is there's 3 pathways, and you unlock them as you go, and it's that understanding of what it means to be a hero. Alex Halo again. Hollow Ataraxia, and Unlimited Blade Works Blu-ray ending She Is. Wow, really? Okay. I did not know that. I did not see the Blu-ray, and Hollow Ataraxia is a little too weird for my taste, so never read it. Tyler Preston, Land of the Lustrous. Is Steven Universe done right? I've never heard of that. What is that? Does anyone know? Land of the Lustrous.
No idea.
I'm definitely
it seems to have run from 2017 to 20, but I have no idea.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll look into it.
Okay.
Because I honestly did like the setup of Steven Universe at the very start, because I thought, oh, this is psychologically interesting, because Steven is this child without parents, and he has these 3 foster mothers that all have different psychological issues. From
no wonder he's so
stable.
No wonder he's got so many issues.
That is surprisingly fitting, but I don't think it happened intentional. I think this was just a natural product of the writing and problems the writers had.
Maybe.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because this is the interesting thing. The Pearl, the tall fair-skinned girl, she's a controlling, narcissistic helicopter parent that has to control everything and has to get everything perfect. Yes. The amethyst, the small rotund thing, that's a borderline girl, a messy, a hoarder. She's purely in emotional reasoning. She is essentially a complete child in her mind. She's irrational. Those are already 2 really bad parents. And then you have forgot the last one, the one that is made up of Ruby and Sapphire. Mm-hmm. The Afro girl with the with the big fisticuffs and the 3 eyes. She's super stoic. She is the most mature of them all, but she's also absent. So she is the best parent, but she's also not there. She's the one who corrects the worst mistakes, but she's also so much not around that they can happen in the first place and mess this kid up even more. And then later on I learn, oh, this guy has a father. But he's just living in his van somewhere downtown. And what the fuck is
down
this
by the
shit?
river?
So what you're saying is that there are no strong masculine presences
Yes,
in any way.
that is one part, but there's also no sane mother.
Right.
This kid
right,
has no sane parent. Not one. Not a single one.
I always think about the psychological profile of people creating that content with this kind of setup. I consider that whenever I'm analyzing something, and that's one of the reasons why I feel like them making a kids cartoon is very weird. Because usually when I think about a kids cartoon, I'm thinking about I want an adult who either is a big kid or a parent of them, of their own kind, or there's something about educating the youth that they find ethically and civically important. Those are the people I want making art for kids. Other than that, it's weird to make art for kids. I don't understand it. You know what I mean? I don't understand why you'd want to back down to that kind of perception in your mind instead of explore larger concepts as you get older. But it seems to be role-based kind of thing. You know what I mean? How do you want to educate the youth? So when people present this situation with Steven Universe, it just sounds very unstable, like unstable people teaching kids all this wacky stuff.
And it's unstable people making unstable characters because they're reflections of themselves and their friends.
Yes,
and otherwise I couldn't see why you would introduce a character that reflects a borderline personality disorder this strongly.
Is it even the Steven Universe even about the power of friendship? I would say it's all about power of friendship, which means that they want to demonize the family and have you just put more emphasis and more value on your friendships as your family as opposed to your actual family. Is it really
because
is it really friends or
family?
Or is it just like the power of allies? The power of allies. Not really not necessarily your friends, but your allies.
Well, I haven't watched enough of it to fully understand all of its episodes and intricacies. I'm sure there are people that actually would do a good job defending it. My assumptions, you know what I mean? I don't know. All I know is from what I've seen, and what I have seen has not been promising. It seems to be both agenda-driven and insecure at the same time, which is something
Steven
that
Universe
always gives me
sends
pause.
out their episodes, not saying the best, and some I assume could be defended. Some I assume are good defenders. Yeah, like that. Yeah,
and as far as I've watched it, because I really found the world interesting, but they dabble in when they do world building. There is something to it, but and it's also sloppy and completely forgotten and discarded. There's no structure in the whole thing. They just do whatever comes to mind at a particular time in the series or in a season, and there are some aspects that you can argue this could be a good thing. You could write this into something really good and interesting, but it's just not. It's just random, and that is what leads to it falling flat eventually. And the agenda-driven part, what I call political fetishism, that I also see there, is that is as much a symptom of it as it is the poison that taints it, that leads to it becoming that. Because the people who are of this ideology, they mainly care about the ideology. So everything else is secondary or tertiary to that, which is quality of writing, which is character depth, which is consistency, which is law. It's all. This is the most important stuff. If we have to change something in the past, then so be it. We just forget about that, as long as it fits the political fetish. Because I wouldn't even say that is because it's not a consistent ideology. It's just what the individual possessed by a part of it wants right now in this very moment. Because these people are inhibited in their emotional development. It's all about what I want right now in this moment, so we put that in there right now. Doesn't matter whether it conflicts with something we did in the past, or it hinders something in the future that we're gonna try to tell. It must be good right now, and it's also why they rarely build to good climaxes, so that these people can't seem to work well with building up tension. It always has to be resolved right now. We need to resolve it right now so that we can. It's like in building tension, it's akin to premature ejaculation, if you will. That's what I see in the writing, mainly.
Fascinating. That's an interesting way of describing those styles of shows, but okay. Cool. We're done with all this wonderful side topics and all the super chats. We can get back to the video. Fantastic.
Having is with the character and creating an incarnation of them with a different sexuality than they originally apparently had. People usually refer to this as a form of virtue signaling, which, if you didn't know, means the action or practice of publicly expressing opinions or sentiments intended to demonstrate one's good character or the moral correctness of one's position on a particular issue. But it's also
it is virtue signaling.
buzzwords homophobes, ableists, ignorant, and intolerant people use when they got a problem with something they don't
Exactly.
understand.
Yeah.
Like most niggas I see using it on Twitter.com don't even know what the fuck it means. Like you're virtue signaling. Signal some bitches.
They are virtue signaling.
Wow.
See, the term virtue signaling is used by a lot of people when they just see progressive media and have a.
Has any of these people who are totally good people and morally righteous or whatever, has any of them actually given the reason why this should be happening in the first place? Like, why not just make a new character? Why do you have to change all these aspects of the character in the first place? Like, what's the reason? And don't say morality. Give me an actual reason.
They just assume that we're the worst of people. It's like, fuck you then. The fuck are you talking about?
And this is also what I mentioned before. Why is he using Steven Universe as an example here when his point is about essentially forced diversity, rewriting of, not just forced diversity, but rewriting of existing characters. Steven Universe is a complete new creation. What the creators put on in regards to sexual orientation or whatever in that thing is completely irrelevant to the point. What is relevant to the point is what is about remakes of old stuff or sudden complete rewrites where established stories suddenly go into a weird direction, where this is shoehorned in, ham-fisted in.
But you see, he's such a good person. Oh my goodness. He's such a good person.
No, he flipped it on us. It's not that he's a good person. We're bad people.
We're just bad people,
right?
yeah.
We're just a bunch of homophobes. Here's the thing. It's so stupid about it. It's like, look, you can do whatever you want. I'm just telling you what the effects are. Like, I'm just telling you that people don't like that, and that's what's going to happen. You want to switch? You just want to switch it out? You think that's going to go well? No, it's not going to go well. That's like if you change the color of Coke. Let's just make Coke blue now.
Or clear.
Suddenly, everybody wakes up. Shit's clear. And Sprite is now the one that's dark. And you're like, what the fuck is happening? My flavor doesn't match the color. And you're like, what? Oh, that's weird. What's going on there?
Yeah, you know that green ketchup?
I don't even give. I don't give a shit about any of this. This is all movies and television and video games, and we're talking about culture. We're talking about like the fundamental thing that we're all trying to associate and have in common and enjoy stories and all this shit. And you're talking about like ethnicity and stuff. What makes you think I don't want a black Hitler versus black Stalin movie? You don't know me. You don't know anything about what I want to fucking see or what I want to do. All I know is that when I'm arguing against people, it's usually people that don't have principles. They just have opinions and they want a virtue signal, like you're doing right now. Like, fuck having an argument. We're just pieces of shit.
Yeah, think about the green-colored ketchup for children. They find it funny and interesting for 5 minutes. After that, they want the red stuff again. Because, it's different. Oh, it's funny. Haha. Look, it's disgusting. Haha. Because it looks disgusting. And
nobody has a
give me the
problem
normal
with diversity.
stuff again, please. Because I want to enjoy my food.
Nobody has a fucking problem.
Fight me.
Nobody has a problem with diversity. What people have a problem with is getting their shit changed on them. The stuff that they like. They don't like, hey, I like the fact that everything is nice. Everything is just, meritocracy. Whoever got the job, I'm sure they were right for the job. That's what people want to believe. They don't want to be like, did they get a black guy for the one? Did they get an Armenian guy to play the character this time? That guy has that Lando Calrissian's black. He has to be played by an Armenian. That's an Armenian name. I don't want to hear that every time. I think it's so fucking boring.
I think it's the same reason why so many people, there's such outrage against Zack Snyder's Superman. I mean, Henry Cavill plays a good Superman. Henry Cavill looks like Superman. Like he just walked out of the comic books. But there's still a backlash against him.
Hairy fucking guy. He's awesome.
He looks like he just stepped out of the comic books as Superman. But they still had a big backlash against him because they changed who Superman was. They changed Superman from this optimistic hero to a guy who just cries all the time about being, I don't know, a hero. Oh my goodness, I'm a monster. I'm a monster. Look all the power I have. Yeah, they changed him from the Superman that they knew and loved to a Superman who was not Superman according to what they've learned from decades of reading and watching Superman. This was this morally ambiguous, this neck cracking, neck breaking, villain killing Superman. That's not the Superman they want to go see. It's not about race. It's not about sexuality. It's not about any of those things. It's about the fans want Superman, not your approximation of Superman. They don't want this weird new Superman that you're bringing up because you think it's a better Superman. They want Superman, not your version of Superman. They'll take your version of Superman, but as long as it's close enough to what they expect, they'll take a spin on it, they'll take a change on it, but keep true to the origin of Superman, the original casting of it. That's why Nolan's Batman trilogy became so popular, because they changed some aspects of Batman and how his world activated, how it worked, but they kept true to the core of it. They kept true to the core aspects and elements of Batman.
Hey, LD, do you want a hot take?
When real fans... Yeah, go on.
Just real quick, LD, you want a hot take?
What's that?
I unironically love Man of Steel. It's my favorite DC movie.
That's why I'm not saying everyone hates it.
And I love Superman too.
There was a reason why there was a big backlash against it. The big backlash, whether or not you like Superman or individual
your
people
opinion
like Superman.
sucks. Get a new one.
No, you suck, Glib. You're a dumb cowboy. Go back to the Ram Ranch. Anyway,
it's undeniable that people do like the Snyder Superman. It's undeniable. But the thing is, there's also a big backlash against Snyder Superman because it changed so much about the character.
The problems that Superman, the philosophical problems and psychological problems that Superman has in the Snyder movie, in Man of Steel, is something that he surely goes through at some stage in his life, but by the time he's an adult, should have resolved, because he's Superman at that point in time. It's something. It's a problem to resolve in youth. What am I doing with all of this shit? If he's not done with that in his mid-20s, holy shit! What the fuck? What a failure!
Yeah, he's like literally 30 when Man of Steel happens. But
he should have learned all these lessons by now.
I always thought
he still hasn't meditated
who
about
he is, and he's putting on the suit and everything, and his father's telling him, "You will be a beacon for them."
And then dude, get a
and he's taking on that symbol as a beacon of hope, and it's weighing on him because he hasn't prepared for that. Well, he hasn't done anything to prepare for this other than he saves people sometimes and impales a dude's semi on a bunch of fucking telephone poles, which I loved.
I don't find any of that compelling at all. That all just sounds like pretentious horse shit from meatheads.
I'm sure, and I'm going to be watching Man of Steel this weekend with buddies of mine. We set it up last weekend. Fuck you, Mueller. I had the idea first, and we're gonna, I guess, objectively critique it on whether or not it's good or bad, because I haven't seen it in a few years.
Can I just say, it's not a broken script. I actually did go through the script, and the story's plot points actually line up. It's just that the whole mood and tone of the movie is like being depressed that you have the most awesome powers in the world. It's like, why do I feel depressed?
I didn't get that at all.
It's like he has guilt. He's guilty for being powerful.
Imagine if Superman was played by Jean-Claude Van Damme.
That's
Batman versus Superman, dancing and kicking people's ass. That'd be more fun.
That's Batman versus Superman is when he's all sad about it.
No, Man of Steel, he's all pensive. He's always, and everything's melodramatic. It's always like, son, you will be the symbol that will rise up to be a sign that will lead to people the light that will come down. And
that is a straw man. That is a straw man, sir. That line is not in the movie.
They will stumble and fall. They'll try to run up behind you, but you're too cool, bro.
You're
my son, though. You're not my son, but you're my son.
Straw man.
I love you, son. Baseball, America.
To get us back onto the changing parts of the stuff, if fans do this for, I mean the real fans, the magical true Scotsman fans, when they do this, like you're doing a little fan fiction for yourself, and it's not this Mary Sue nonsense. But for example, house ruling for role-playing games is the same thing. You're changing the actual thing to fit your own stuff, and that usually makes the thing that you're playing better. Yeah. But you're not changing the absolute core of the thing. The SJWs always go at the core of something and change that, while at the same time not caring about the thing, because they don't care about the core. The fans care about the core of the thing. And so this is external people who meddle with the core of the thing you like, and that's why everybody hates them. That's why people hate Marge Simpson when she does that. That's why people hate Christian moms when they do this.
Homer, you didn't vote for Biden, Homer.
Yes. SJWs are fundamentalist
Homer, you're not
Christian
yellow
moms
anymore.
who see
Biden.
devil worship everywhere, therefore need to change everything. SJWs are essentially hyper-conservatives with a weird worldview that is just not the classical hyper-conservative one.
Yeah,
I remember the big scare in everything.
I remember the big scare over Harry Potter where they thought Harry Potter was literally teaching their kids how to use magic. that was hilarious.
If it was that easy, man.
They're teaching our kids how to sodomize each other with these here wands, and they're not accepting Jesus in the public square anymore.
Well, you know why witches ride brooms?
Yes, I do.
Devil pee-pee. Devil pee-pee.
Is that a little witch in the corner?
All right, let's get back on track.
Look it up. It's not.
I can't believe you have a cult writing you
kids.
with LD.
Oh dear.
By the way, we're about to get to Cowboy Bebop. I've been watching it. It's the shit. And if he's about to talk about diversity and how space is diverse, it's like, yeah, it's called a story.
What, you Glib? You like Cowboy Bebop? I'm shocked.
I love the movie that has the TV show that has the space cowboy in it.
Yeah, Space Cowboy.
Cowboy Bebop's good.
And I want to make him bisexual too in the adaptation again.
Dear.
Also, of course, we're well known, homophobes or whatever. That's why I'm well known for hating American Psycho and Bret Easton Ellis.
Everybody in Cowboy Bebop is obsessed with like one person. Like Spike is obsessed with Julia, so like,
oh yeah, it's
him
true.
being bisexual is irrelevant to anything. His sexuality is only for one person. Like,
Spike is bisexual? I didn't know that.
And Jetto obviously just likes that one chick, right, from that episode.
It's like all the guys in Cowboy Bebop, they're just like all obsessed over one woman. It's very classic. I like it. That's a good dynamic. It's a classical dynamic.
Cowboy Bebop takes place in a place where all of the characters have already seemingly made decisions that are going to lead to their downfall, and now we're just watching it play out. And they sort of act as the agents of causality and finality for all of the other things that they come across, like all of the quarries that they're trying to take down and all the things that they're trying to do. End up usually causing death. They usually end up just being the death of characters that they come across.
Speaking of Cowboy Bebop, you would think this guy would talk about Samurai Champloo more, because Samurai Champloo actually had subjects of homosexuality in there. Like, it was a big theme in Samurai Champloo, which is why obviously anyone who's listened to me more than 5 minutes ago, why they know that I hate Samurai Champloo.
It was part of Kabuki theater. But I have a question.
Wait a minute, just real quick. Cowboy Bebop has a trans character as one of the episodes, and also in that same episode, they have a gay character that is one of the being interrogated while they're having sex or whatever. So like, Cowboy Bebop has all of these elements in it, or plays with them, and then what that ends up having is that ends up being a natural way of doing it because it presents a universe in which those things exist. It doesn't glorify anything except for what it thinks is in common with all people that are going through the human experience. That's what good storytelling is, because I doubt you'll find very many writers that say, I don't want this group of people to read my work. I don't want this group of people to look at my work.
The only people who do that are SJWs.
The only people who do that are my book. Because everybody else wants that universal legacy quality. We want to be like, here's what I'm leaving behind. It's worth value, and this is what I did, or here's a relic of what it stood for. Like, all that stuff's important. That's why virtue signaling exists on such a shallow platform like on Twitter, and not in the actual work itself that lives on as a testament to civil rights or philosophy or whatever it is that they're trying to put across. It's not in the art. They just have to talk about how great their art is because it's not actually in there. You can't actually see it.
All right.
And my question to Glib is, because the last time I watched Cowboy Bebop was probably 15 years ago.
Oh, you got to watch it.
What character is Ed obsessed with?
Ed?
The computer.
Yeah, the kid. The kid.
Her dad.
Well, does this kid have
I think it's
awakening?
a girl. Yeah, it's a girl. It's her dad.
I don't girl.
Yeah,
I don't really
she's
think
obsessed
that...
with his dad or her dad.
Yeah. I don't think the kid really has like a sexuality. It's kind of an asexual character. You know,
I thought more in a general, broader story context, not in a romantic context.
Well, just like the obsession. I mean, definitely, the leading force for that character is wanting to like hack and invade people's privacy and stuff, and just like be like a base creature. You know what I mean? Like it's. Do you get what I'm saying?
You mean Ed is more like
Freedom.
a function, a manifested function.
Anarchy, like an anarchistic character that's just going to just do whatever they want to do and introduces chaos into the system. So love of play, I think, would be equivalent, but it's not. I don't know if there's a sexual component.
Well, no. I don't think the concept of the story.
That's why I asked, because of your prior statement that every character has another person they're obsessed with.
No.
Well, like the men in particular, and then the women, it's like, you know, with Faye, it's a little bit more like she can't find that
too.
Okay, well,
no, Faye is like somebody who lacks in a lot of ways and can't figure out why, you know.
One of the main themes of Cowboy Bebop for all the characters, not just Ed and Ein and like even the dog, their past is catching up with them. So whether it's a violent one, or Faye has to pay off a debt, or she doesn't know where she's from, or Ed just wants to have fun, and then she realizes that she misses her orphanage with her dad, and all these other things. Like it's everything's going home, everything is catching up. And how that resolves is this long wait period, this 24 episodes of trying to get Spike to where he has to go. So you have all these random entertaining things, kind of talking about life. Like, you know where you have to go. You know where you want to go, and you're getting there to become an accountant, or you want to get a house with a wife and all these things. In between all these crazy adventures, you're trying to get there. And it is kind of the weird, crazy, goofy, not so sure why she's there element. So I would say she's obsessed just with having fun and goofing around, and then she realizes, oh, I got to go back home, and that's where my dad is. So the fact they found the dad is random, I know, but that's kind of the show. So it works with that premise.
No, it's also what a space odyssey or a space trek is kind of about. You stumble upon things.
Yeah, it's all random.
It's not everything. It's not just we are actively searching for something, but sometimes it's just you're in this place and someone you know runs past you, and it's just
Yeah, that was the one episode where there's only like 3 or 4 episodes with Spike's past, and one of them has to be a friend of Vicious, and he's happens just to be a saxophone player, and he just happens to know about this Vicious guy, and everyone gets involved. So yeah, there's only a few major plot stories, and everything else is random fun, random serious. Then it's a noir, and we look into Jet's backstory, and then we jump to Ed again, and it's just constant having fun, crazy adventures. So that's
a combination of continuity and individual serialized episodes.
It's making a subplot turn into a main plot and then back again, and it allows for just the writers to have to do all kinds of stuff that you wouldn't expect. So
and one time it's licking toads and being on a stairway to heaven for hours upon hours on a trip.
Yep.
And there's still a conclusion to that and still an epiphany to that.
Yep, I know. It's great. It's fantastic stuff. I know. The music is just right along with you. It's so entertaining. And it's kind of like a buffet. Every show is going to be different. You're going to get something new. So, yeah, it's fantastic. Anyway, I think we've meandered.
First time I shampoo.
We're not talking. No more topics. No more changing. We're not.
Yes.
Let's get back on topic.
It's the best.
Anyway, Joe Crazy.
Samurai Champloo is different.
Joe Crazy. What's funny about Steven Universe is that they make the storyboards first, then write around those. That is why it's so disjointed and inconsistent. Now, that's interesting because that reminds me of the Marvel Method by Stan Lee and what was his artist?
Yeah,
Kirby.
But that's like the way it's described there in Steven Universe. It's like a hollowed out, soulless version of the Marvel Method, because the Marvel Method is they write the script first, and then the artist does the panel, then the artist does the panels, and then you fit in the dialogue to fit the panels. It's not just this the artist do whatever they want, and then we'll just write around it. That's not how it works.
Kirby was
Stop restricting artists with your dumb, stupid lore.
Yeah, because Kirby was a visual artist.
There are tools of the practice. That's true for story writing, comics. Doesn't matter. Film writing, storyboarding. It's all the same. And there's some very, very basic ones. And you can do this like you described about Stan Lee. You can do this, but you need to be good enough for it. And I would suspect that the basic tools that you're not doing on paper, your brain's doing already for you.
You need to
that's why you get good results out of it.
Yeah, that's why
the Steven Universe thing and SJWs in general are doing, what J.J. Abrams is doing, and what sadly Filoni and Favreau are doing is, I have this idea about the super cool shot, the super cool scene that I want in this episode, and then they write the rest around it, and it just doesn't come together. What the tool of the trade is, and since there are some people working in this in this creative branch here on stream, you're probably familiar with this. You have your goal where you want to get, you have your starting point, and then you start filling in the middle. What is it that gets me from A to B? And then you fill in what's between those two things, and more and more and more until you fracture into the whole story.
Right.
And that fills it out, that kind of fills itself out by itself.
So you have these.
That's how you get a consistent plot line.
Right. So
now, granted, this technique does work in music, because that's how a Tool writes the lyrics for their music. Tool will make the song, and then Maynard James Keenan will add lyrics to it based on how the song goes. But the thing is, with music, you're there for the melody, you're there for the music. So the equivalent of this would be like if you're making a song and you just wrap it around the lyrics or something like that, like something else you're not really there for. You're when it's a comic book or a TV show or something like that, you're there for the narrative. You're there for the story, what the story is going to tell you. So if you're saving the narrative to just wrap around the narrative and you're focusing on the art, because you can't restrict the artiste. That's why it's so you get this disjointed feel to it. If you have something that's focused on a narrative, like a movie or comic book or TV show, you write the story first and then allow the artist to adapt that script to visuals, and then, like if you want to do the Marvel method, it's script, then visuals, and then you fit the dialogue to the visuals. That's kind of what I did with Dr. Alpha. I mean, to fit some of the dialogue to the visuals I got in return. But I wrote the script first, and that's where the artist got the visuals from.
And in general, it does help. So artistic freedom, yes, great, but it doesn't excuse making shit. And that's why many artists do put restrictions on themselves. They put up a framework. I'm just gonna do something within this certain framework. Or I'm designing fashion, but there will be no buttons ever being used in my entire career. That's a limitation, and that can lead to a certain style. That can lead to something new because you deprive yourself of certain things. Or now the basic method I mentioned before, and this is something anybody can just use for anything, is what the SJWs do, or what Abrams and Filoni Favreau are doing, sounds similar to that they have this one scene they want to get at, but they're so hyper-focused on that scene, and they kind of stumble towards there and then trail off from there. They do it in a sloppy fashion, so that you lose consistency, that they just force it too hard to get there. Because on the way writing there, and one of my favorite examples for what was it? I always mixed the two up, Filoni and Favreau, because I think both worked on the Clone Wars animated series. I may get that wrong as well, but it's the 4th episode of Mandalorian season 1, the one with the ATST. There are several points in that story where they could have taken out the ATST beforehand. Simply, they wouldn't have needed to get to this really silly and unrealistic standoff point, that shot that looks really amazing and epic. That's not the question. It does look amazing. It does look amazing. That shot in the dark where the ATST is on one side of the swamp and there's these little people with sticks on the other side looks amazing. But on the way there, they could have taken out the thing already. But had they done that, they couldn't get to the shot. So the main character suddenly needed to dump down and not take the opportunity. While we learned in the very beginning, in the first episode, we learned that Mandalorian is a very efficient, very effective, very ruthless, very competent guy. And by the point we get to season 4, episode 4 is he kind of stumbles around and does dumb stuff, so just that funny or good-looking scenes can happen. And that makes it fall apart. That's something that Filoni and Favreau did a lot in the Clone Wars series and in Rebels. And I had hope, and I did it less and less and less. And so my hope for Mandalorian was that by Mandalorian, they would have gotten rid of all their children's diseases, as we call it here, and just made a competent thing. And then they just did it like in the beginning of the Clone Wars, where it's this when Mando is climbing up the Sandcrawler in Episode 2, all the way, and it's this amazing superhero action scene where he's just messing up all the little what were they called? The little guys. Jawas, exactly. Yeah, thank you. So he does all this. He climbs up the whole thing. This guy knows how to fight. This guy is a wrecking ball.
Can't fight a taser.
But then he gets to the top of it and is surprised that at the top, where you have a flat surface, he is ambushed by a bunch of them that then they just shoot him down. Sorry, I'm not buying that. That's where the character falls apart. And this is what you then see. This bad writing style is what you see in Episode 4 at worst. And this is what Abrams does a lot. This is what Michael Bay does in the Transformers movies. This is what SJWs in general do. So I'm not saying Michael Bay and Abrams are SJWs, but this is what this absolute unnecessary error in writing that you see. TLJ did this a lot as well. Here I want to have the cool shot. Let's somehow stumble to get there because the story isn't necessary. The cool looking visuals are necessary. Because narcissistic, as I don't think Filoni and Favreau are narcissistic, but these other people are. That's why Filoni and Favreau do it less. I think they just enjoyed it. That they still have this childish spark in them, this childish joy, and maybe that's driving it in them, the positive version of that. But all people right. Roundhead Johnson, Ryan Johnson. He especially is one of these guys who's so superficial that he wants the cool visual alone and just for that, and doesn't care about anything else. Doesn't care how to get there. That's why this scene at the end with Rose and the stupid kiss and her suicide action to prevent the heroic suicide action of Finn comes into play. That also makes no sense with physics and timing at all.
You're
and
just overthinking it. It's
all just to have this one cool shot, and this other cool shot, and this next cool shot, and just this part alone, this whole part alone, to have. Oh yeah, I'm having the suicide run into the cannon. Okay, cool shot.
All right, can we get back on topic?
Yeah. Yes, sorry. Right. This is something. You have 5 of these things in a row, and it's just it blows the whole flow of the story apart.
All right, let's get to the super chats and hopefully get back to the video. Jake the Surgeon, progressive media is cancer infested. Rectalates. Thank you for that opinion. That's great, Jake.
Excellent opinion. 10 out of 10.
Jake the Surgeon.
English degree to use.
Zach, I'm afraid you're doing 1,000 years hard labor and must make love to Amy Schumer every night. Don't give my ideas. Thank you, Jake. Okay.
That's mean and uncalled for.
Macro molecule gaming. All right, that's cool. Did you talk about how merging is intercourse?
We haven't gotten there yet.
Don't even know.
I forgot about that.
Oh god,
that's horrifying, isn't it?
I don't even want to.
Are you talking about corporations or human?
No.
Yeah, in what's this show called? Stupid Universe. They have this thing where the gems can merge, and it's very sensuous.
Oh god,
it's a metaphor. It's symbology.
All right, Jake the Surgeon. Thank you, sir. The big issue I had with the first live action Guyver. Oh wow, is how they didn't focus
good stuff.
on Kronos ruining Sean Shu's life and decided to be some schlocky mess. Well, it was a B movie. Like, you have to realize the quality.
It's a Z quality
movie. I mean, we get to Guyver too. They have a bigger budget, but still, it's like you're still talking about the same crap, right?
So, yeah, the guy. What's called the fuck? Think about that title and how unmarketable that is.
The Guyver. Yeah,
just alone.
Doesn't matter how good your actors are; they can only work with what they got. So if you have a biomechanical suit popping out of your neck, and you have like multiple eyes on your skull, it's a little weird. But Japan. What are you gonna do? Jake the Surgeon. Not that everyone was American.
Everybody's American now.
Everyone. Okay.
We all live in America.
I am American, so can you.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. 2 minutes in. 2 hours in. That's fantastic. We're doing, what a great ratio that is.
It's going to be a 15-hour stream at this rate.
Making good time.
Let's go.
Problem with it. That also goes for when they say that it's political. Having a diverse group of characters in your current media isn't political. It's a sign of respect to all the people who watch your shit. And it's just normal to include people who exist and have them represented because,
I don't feel respected by any of this.
There's actually different categories that this argument fits into. Specifically 3 in my opinion, seeing as it usually falls under those 3. As a whole, altering a character to be more diverse.
How do you alter a character to be more diverse? Does that mean that you just change things about it so that it's more random?
Oh, this person's going to be Taiwanese.
But Bill, they come from Louisiana and they have slaves in their family. It
doesn't matter.
Here's a question to the SJWs. If you could, would you switch my race and my sexual orientation?
Yes, they would.
Yes,
you don't understand. They would do everything. They are just madmen.
Well, I know you're double trans now. You're double.
You have to build an army of superheroes to save the universe.
One is enough. One is bad enough because it's not fun. These people
What is the next evolution of trans, Wisp? What is the next evolution?
I mean, if they're all about representation and everything, where's the representation of a positive figure, a positive masculine male figure? Where's that representation?
Yeah, that can't exist because it's patriarchal.
It's patriarchy.
What happened to representation of me in all media all the time? Just me and my ego, just massive, just being all there and just all the chuds getting mad.
Shut up, Clint Eastwood. You've been in enough movies.
Look, hey, look. Hey, guys, you need more people that look like me.
If you were a woman, that would be perfect.
Look, as a member of color, I am fully entitled as a VIP gold card member of diversity to take over the production of this movie. I understand we're making a historical movie about what it was like to be in Victorian England, but I think we need more Mexicans because I like the noise that Mexican trumpets make. I like the bore size of the mariachi over the regular. And you know what?
I'm in charge. Mexicans in Victorian England.
Hey, man. I'm going to the ball and shuffle.
Was Q culturally appropriating when he took on different costumes to annoy Picard?
There's been times when I've kind of come to the conclusion that this whole thing about diversity is just trying to disguise their fetishes as morality. Because you notice that Kathleen Kennedy, she keeps inviting in like all these Latin love ales type.
I know, it freaks me out, dude. I'm like, what is going on,
Latin
man?
Lover. Like,
just take a vacation.
Yeah, it's about diversity. It's about representing people. You only like representing certain people, like the people that you seem to have a fetish for.
It's always the same. And have you noticed that like the definition of diversity is putting in a black woman with an afro that's like all rambunctious? It's like that's not what like you know what?
That's
here's
not
the thing
what
that really
most
bothers
black
me.
people are like.
What's really funny is that there are communities where like you can just there's more a higher percentage of black people, right? And a higher percentage of black men. And it's basically just black men talking about black men's perspective on issues and stuff. Those places exist. They don't feel any more represented by woke shit either. Like they have a racial quality that's different from your racial quality. That doesn't mean that they don't use the same logic. You know what I mean? Logic is logic. So when we get these bouts of illogical bullshit, the people that buy into it are the people that feel like they're getting that dopamine rush. The rest of us in our communities are like, dude, this is not the shit. We do not.
We're trying to say, Glib. We're trying to say that the actual communities they're trying to represent don't feel represented by a bunch of white men and women fetishizing their race and painting it as moral representation. Are you trying to tell me that they don't feel in any way better about this?
Are you saying that you don't feel represented by the Latinx?
No, I don't feel represented. I feel fetishized.
Wait, is that what it's called? I thought it was Latin X.
It's like, well, yeah, obviously.
That sounds too cool. That sounds way too cool.
Nobody ever knows what it's pronounced like. Nobody ever knows.
I just saw that and went, okay.
I think that might be a band or something.
I want to punish Berserker on here because he has such a good he has a really good take on Black Panther.
My woman is Hispanic, and she didn't. I told her about the Latinx thing, and she got upset. She's like, "I've never heard anybody talk about."
Yeah, because it's dumb. It's really stupid, and it
Exactly.
doesn't make you feel represented. It just makes you feel fetishized. That's all.
And it's really it makes you feel like
he said he felt
stealing...
embarrassed by Black Panther. He's like, I don't feel represented. I don't feel empowered. You raid this futuristic city with thatch fucking roofs and
that part's
farm rhinos. Go fuck yourself. This is what we're showing my people to be as. Fuck off.
And we also build a giant wall so that the poor, destitute people outside, the other Africans, they just die of starvation.
T'Challa's papa was
don't give a fuck.
You guys just don't understand. He's trying to make Africa
Trump was king of Wakanda before T'Challa.
We're gonna build a wall. We're gonna build a wall around.
We're gonna make a wall. We're gonna build a wall, and we're gonna make the colonizers pay for it.
What are you trying to say, that Wakanda was a isolated state because they were surrounded by Africans? Disney, what are you, racist? Huh?
They were trying to keep the Africans.
Trying to keep all the Africans out? Why?
Anyway, I just missed a donation from Fritz Philogenial. Just do apologize. I can't say it in the exact way it was written, but I'll try my best.
I saw it earlier.
Don't hate us because we're objective. Maybe if you got rid of that yee-ass virtue signaling, you get some good writing in your script. Or better yet, maybe CN will give you more screen time. Nibba.
Oh my god, dude. That is rude as fuck. Y'all motherfuckers just are hating.
Maybe if you got rid of that old yee ass haircut you get some bitches on your dick.
Thank you, Zach.
I love that clip.
Thank you. Oh dear. Anyway, let's get back to the super chats and get back to the video, thankfully. Jake the Surgeon, there's plenty from the source material to make something that isn't schlock. Yes, you're right. There's lots of manga. There's lots of references. That's a really old manga, though, so it has to work with the actions 80s vibe, and it kind of sort of does. It depends on what you like out of 80s anime. So, yeah.
Do you guys watch Arrested Development? Did you watch the first or second season?
Bits.
Do you remember when what's his name? George, it's George Michael, the grandfather, his name?
That one.
George. Yeah. Anyway, George Bluth is like, there's always money in the banana stand. And I feel like that's like a metaphor for going back to old intellectual properties. Like, hey, there's always money in Star Wars. You know what I mean? And then
not anymore.
And then
it used to be.
And then instead, Michael just burns down the banana stand, and he doesn't understand that it's not symbolic. There actually was physical money, like $250,000 or whatever, inside the banana stand. And that's what I feel like Kathleen and all the people in charge of Disney did to like Star Wars and stuff. They've burnt down the banana stand, and there was cash in there. Like they just decided to burn it down to symbolically like virtue signal, like look at how progressive we are. We got this now. We got this now, and all that cash is just gone now. Like the value of the brand has just been sucked out.
But it's just a banana stand.
Speaking of things being sucked out, with SJW animation, how come?
By the way, correction, sir, that's blown out. No.
Speaking of things being sucked out in this scenario, how come all the SJW animation and even their comic books, how come all their character designs, all the artwork they produce, their characters look like the humanity have been sucked out of their character? And they don't look like people. They look people they look like people wearing masks of people. You know that the dead eye stare and everything. Like they don't look like they can emote or have empathy for anything. They just look like these hollow husks of human beings in their animation. It's really interesting. Look at these characters. They don't look like expressive people at all. They look dead eyed. Like they're just
the animation itself looks dead.
It does, and that's indicative of SJW. I can always tell the SJW. I can usually tell an SJW work by how flat and empty their animation style kind of is.
You know what? The animation style.
It's a reflection of them as well. If you know what's going on with them psychologically, that is a reflection of how they themselves work and act. Some of it does come across as funny in some situational things when someone says something weird or dumb and then the other character goes blank stare for 2 seconds too long. That can be funny if you do it once in a while. That is a situational joke that can work, but these people, they're just doing it all the time and even unintended. And I think that's what you mean.
They themselves are dead
correct me if I'm
inside,
wrong.
so the characters are dead inside.
Yes.
My favorite animation style that I've seen in modern era was probably the OG Teen Titans.
Teen Titans.
That was a good show. I like the Teen Titans. Not Teen Titans Go, but Teen Titans.
Go is awful. Teen Titans is...
I just like Raven. I don't even care about the rest of it.
I mean, that's where
any of it.
That's where I got my taste for goth women. Just
yeah, I heard
this is, by the way, the fact that you got your taste for goth women from Teen Titans just proves that we can't let these degenerates teach our kids what
They're
kind of
stealing
girls
the
to fall in
culture.
love with, right?
Exactly.
Especially when you're stealing my waifu Raven. So
Dude, these people got into the goth scene as one of the first because the key thing in that is the borderline disorder, which is the hyper emotional, irrational girls that tend to cut themselves. Goths originally they don't tend to cut themselves, but it's these girls that do, and they often don't have a very good sense of aesthetics. They just drape on something that they then imagine to be good looking, and it's just an aesthetic hell. And they were a big thing in the Gothic scene for a time, and were part of why then people didn't want to really go to events anymore, because I don't want to deal with that person. I'd rather stay home.
It's
Fuck
usually
that. We're going to the
emo
rave.
crowd. The emo crowd have that cutting thing. Goths don't really. So
No.
I'm going to the goth rave, and I'm going to
about
dance
the
the Bauhaus. And it's
the
gonna
emo
be
thing is
awesome.
a combination. The emo thing is a combination of the goth and some punk elements, and it's
yeah.
the fashionization of the former two.
All music scenes get
it's
fetishized
like,
or whatever. They get personified into cultures.
It
happens all the time.
In the emo thing, it's even worse. So borderliners do cut themselves, but in the emo scene, that got even worse because suddenly it was to be a gothic, to be part of the club, I need to cut myself, right? So I do that. So it wasn't even because these people had mental issues. It was just, I think I need to do this to be part of the thing, so I do it. That's the emo.
What was
absolutely
What
insane.
were we talking about again? What was
I'm
that?
sorry.
Where did we start from? No, that was interesting. I'm just wondering.
We have this weird video?
What you're referencing.
I post Raven in a bikini in the chat, and Glib just wait. What? What are we talking about?
No, I'm not. I'm busy playing a video game right now. I'm shooting people.
Anyway, let's get back to Steven Universe. Steven Universe. Joe Crazy. Sugar had to walk that one back, especially with the fact that Steven fused with his dad.
What?
Really?
Okay, I'm glad I didn't watch that far.
Holy crap! Yeah, that's a little
God.
uncomfortable.
Yeah, especially since the whole fusion thing was always, when you see the animations in the show depicted for that, it's so obvious that this is sexual. This is
It's for children. It's a Space Wizards movie for children.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
right.
Get over,
All
get
right.
over it. You're racist.
It's
Or
fine.
making sexual things and then fusing.
Okay, let's
Also, it was one of the bigger moments where I thought, wait, something's wrong here.
yeah, let's keep
continue.
on going.
This man.
That falls into a case basis, and I'm gonna like going case by case right now, like as I speak. This
Cutting
one is
before
the
I'm
one
done
that's
speaking
most
is so
definitely
dirty.
undeniably bad, seeing as the context involves the author of Harry Potter changing one of her characters into a gay man, one into a black person, and a lot of weird retconny things that fuck with the original source material. This is wrong because if you make an established work that is and has been concrete, and then make changes to it that obviously weren't originally thought of, that make little to no sense, and that contradict some of your own writing, people are gonna have a problem with that. No less if you're also transphobic. She's transphobic, but also retcon marginalized groups.
Oh my god!
Okay,
Yes,
so we
you
can,
have
let's
thoughts on
just
this?
let's just like
About that, yes,
yeah, we talked about this a lot. What she said on Twitter regarding her own books is dumb. She never said that, but we know she's not transphobic. We've gone over that ad nauseum. It's fine. She's not. It's cool.
Yeah, she's just dumb.
She just said some dumb
she
shit
is-
about her books. That's it.
She's
That's
making everybody
racist.
upset, so I love it.
Okay.
calling
Thanks.
people
Okay,
dumb,
Glib
that's
loves it. That's
racist.
fine. Everyone else is like, ugh.
Probably.
Keep it up, JK. You're number one in my
more
book.
diverse. And this isn't to appease our audience because literally no one asked for it. It's for her to seem more accepting and less intolerant when in actuality makes her look a lot more tone deaf. Honestly, like I said, this is the only version of this that is bad because you can quite literally make a reboot of the franchise with these new diverse characters and ideas that tell stories, you know, stories that they're essential for, or just outright make new characters in their own story that do exactly that. But she's too lazy for that shit and just made tweets about whatever weird thing came to her mind that sounded progressive, when really you're just canonically making the series actually worse. So bad that niggas don't even want to listen to you anymore. And that kinda sucks. Not for her though,
pretty
trans
based.
rights, bitch. All this shit is just dumb and unnecessary. Hermione's black, but it's specifically written that she also has white skin. Haha, boy. I sure do hope somebody got fired for that blunder. Oh wait, it's your blunder, nigga. I'd say just make a whole new series with these themes, but she's obviously not the one to make it. Trying to get brownie points surely damn well doesn't make you look good. It's not even the fact that
he's trying to do that with the
factor in the story. That's not the problem. The problem is they weren't intended in the first place. To all of a sudden, years after your published work, make a big deal about certain things that obviously weren't there in the first place comes off as a bit off-putting. I mean, if I made a show that had no prior mention towards the character's race, had movie adaptations that established a common view of what the character's race would be, and about everything that pointed to them not being black or like gay, there's really no easy justification for it. It just looks very scummy.
So I think he's setting up a straw man right now because this is very much not what the subject is. The subject is taking for example, a white character like Iron Man and changing him into a black woman.
Awesome. Do it again. Do it every time. Let's see what happens.
This is a non sequitur. We know this. I don't know why he's talking about it, but yes, J.K. Rowling said some stupid shit. We get it.
And what he's talking about is post-publishing, can't think of the term I'm trying to say, but basically after the fact changing the narrative, or after the fact making Dumbledore gay when there is no supporting evidence in the source material that he is gay.
Not only was he gay, he was also Arab.
He also fucked the fucking fuck out of Grindelwald.
Dobby. And he collected goldfish. All this is not in the book, but I just added it later.
Yeah, there you go. And as soon as I see that, I'm just like, shut the fuck up.
Also, Dobby was racist.
Author, bitch.
Dobby was racist.
I don't like those. I just don't like them, Harry.
He was racist against goblins.
Racist. You can't say you don't like the Packies.
Dobby thinks that the goblins are overrepresented in like the banking community.
Dobby thinks that the goblins were behind his enslavement. His race used to be powerful.
All right.
Just don't sit right with me having a transphobe being able to make that shit. I think we can all agree on that.
Not transphobe. No, we can't.
See, as expressed in the beginning of the video, you probably know that a lot of people are talking about a hypothetically gay Spider-Man, and people have a problem with that because they feel it'd be made to appease the gays. And well, my response to that is, and homosexual.
Yeah, and because he's not established to be a gay character, motherfucker.
I'm pretty sure Spider-Man is straight, considering that he's had several girlfriends.
You just said that it's stupid when J.K. Rowling does it, and now you say it's okay when it's done with Spider-Man?
No, because the source material is already written. Like, the book is written. So what he's referring to with J.K. Rowling is that the book is written. And what J.K. Rowling is trying to do is change Hermione to be black when she is clearly, like, the book is set in stone to be white. That is not the same thing as taking Spider-Man and in a new iteration, gay.
No, if they totally is.
If they made Miles Morales, like brand new Miles Morales, and made him gay, no one would have a problem with it. Well,
Miles Morales is now
Chinese. Most people wouldn't have a problem with it.
Okay, but you're talking about the Marvel universe, right? There's multiple dimensions. There's Earth 1562 and all these other kinds. So the comic book readers can go, oh, this is just another version, another universe. So we can get around that. But in general, we'll see that and say, what? The first argument from Marvel fanboys is, what universe is this? Just give me a number. And I'll be like, okay, fine. That'll be that.
And if you tell me, oh, this is
nice.
Yeah, unless you tell me, oh, we are rewriting the main universe that is the most important, and then people will get a real problem with it.
Here's
or
my
if you
thing.
say that this new universe we have now created, that is now the main one forever and ever. That people will also have a problem.
Do people Do people really need to see gay Spider-Man? And what is the motivation behind that?
What's the
Don't
point?
get
On
it.
top of that,
This guy's just a good person. He's such a good person.
here's the thing, though. Like, say you did that, right? And then people were like, "Nah, I don't want to watch that." They would be like, "Why are all these homophobes not watching Spider-Man?"
My
And
question
then they
is, what
just
does it...
double down again. It's like, this is never going to end. Then you're just always going to feel oppressed because people aren't interested in the same shit that you are. Like, I don't care about gay Spider-Man because I'm not gay, so I don't want to see gay Spider-Man. If I said that, they'd be like, "Wow, well, what's the fucking argument against that? It's just my opinion."
And the next question is: Do all gays want to see gay Spider-Man? Is it some pubescent girls who want to see gay Spider-Man because they like looking at gay porn just as men like to look at lesbian porn?
On Tumblr. Go write your
If I wanted to see,
that's
if
what
I wanted
it is.
to see
It's
gay
fan
Spider-Man,
fiction.
I'd dress my boyfriend up. Okay.
Yeah,
If I wanted that, I'd get it.
Girl
It's
sleeps with 50
fetishes,
guys,
fan
she's
fiction.
liberated. I sleep with 50 guys, I'm a faggot. I don't know what the rules are.
Yeah,
I know the rules, and you know the rules, and so do I.
it's race
I can't believe it
fetishism, it's
just got
sexual
ripped.
orientation fetishism. That's all this always is. And you can write your fan fiction. Do it. Do your fan fiction comics. Make do it. It doesn't
Don't
matter.
touch the main thing. Don't touch the big thing. Don't touch Spider-Man. Go write your own shit. Go do your thing over there. Go be happy.
No, they
That's
want
not
to
what
touch
this thing
Spider-Man.
is.
They want Spider-Man to be touched. That's exactly.
Yeah,
By a man. Specifically by a
They
man.
want that Spider-Man ass, man.
They're not that making the fetish fan fiction is not enough for them. They need to impose their fiction, their fan
can't
fiction
Spider-Man be black?
onto everyone. Everybody must like what they like. That is the narcissistic notion.
Yes.
That is
Spider-Man.
the only problem.
Spider-Man is now a meth head for meth representation.
Yeah,
Oh,
we need
great.
meth. We need meth representation. That's the meth heads in my community. Believe me, there are numerous.
They've been really
They're very-
how many meth head
They're
superheroes do you know?
underrepresented.
There aren't.
Message coming in.
Duh.
They're
You know what?
underrepresented.
We need
Spider-Man voted Trump. We need some more Trump supporter representation in media. So Spider-Man now has now voted Trump.
we need more
play
old-
that card. See how it goes for you.
Why don't we cast a bunch of old people to play superheroes? Like, why don't we have more old superhero movies? Why don't we have a bunch of handicapped people in wheelchairs play superheroes?
You know what? There's not enough Stan Lee.
Fucking do it, you racist.
Oppressive.
There's not enough Stan Lee clones in this. We need some Stan Lee clone representation.
Realism is for not movies, okay? I go to movies to see retarded shit happen and to be a complete idiot afterwards on the internet about how great it was.
I hate this argument.
All right, so let's keep going. Tickleson, hey, thank you. We need a
Message
gay
coming
Spider-Man so
Patch
he
it
can
through.
make jizz jokes when webbing bad guys?
It just came on your face, bro.
Oh, God.
Spider webs.
Oh no, it's all sticky.
Okay, now I actually do want to see gay Spider-Man. This would be fun.
Oh. Alex Halo, the dojins are good enough for us weebs and otaku. Well, that's the thing. I want to talk about this on Morning Nonsense, but that's how they get into manga, usually through the adult content. And they share the same space on the rack. If you go to Japanese manga comics or manga place to buy these things. So when you get interviewed by one of a larger publishing company, they know you from that. And it's not, you're embarrassed. Like, no, this is how you got in. Everyone gets in their own way. So whether it's manga or light novels, everyone has their own start. And if you do write good stuff and you draw good stuff, they want you to work for them. It doesn't matter what publishing house that might be. So it's all pretty much the same. Kyle Rocket, LitDev is sipping tea while you all fight.
I literally am, yeah.
I thought it was whiskey, but yeah, who knows? He drinks.
I'll go back to tea when I'm through with the whiskey.
Ah,
there you go. That's the way to do it.
Okay.
Ones weren't included to make straight people not feel uncomfortable, while simultaneously literally not acknowledging a group of people that exist and that also consume media. Obviously not.
What do you mean not acknowledging them?
Well, here's the thing, though. That right there, they say, oh, it just makes them feel uncomfortable. That's the whole idea. That's why it feels so malicious whenever they do this representation stuff. It's not about representing people. That's not what it's really about. It's really about making you feel uncomfortable because they hate you. That's what it's all actually about.
That's what it really feels like too. It's like, oh, so you just want me to be you're like, fuck me because I'd rather look at a heterosexual relationship. Fuck me and the majority of people that are going to be watching this shit.
Whatever they think,
want it.
Whatever they think will make you feel uncomfortable, that's where they want to. That's what they'll push as a moral.
So
good.
what you're saying is that I have to ask for the opposite of what I want.
Pretty much.
I want gay Spider-Man.
Pretty much.
Well, all
I
they have
definitely
to do
want to
is
eat the
bad
bugs.
representations of all these things. When they do these forced representation things, they always do bad representations. They are the ones doing the bad stereotyping. They claim to be against bad stereotypes, and then they write really horrible characters and shove it into everyone's face. If I was gay, I wouldn't want to see these as an acclaimed positive representation. So I have someone to look at that is like me, then I have to look at someone who's a really horrible person that's shoved in my face. No, most gay characters, if you would do good writing on gay characters, for most characters, you will notice that they're gay. You wouldn't notice that they're trans if they are, because they wouldn't fucking tell you. That's why good writing of trans characters is even harder. You basically can't do it unless it's the focus of a movie or a show.
Yes, that's really what this is all about. Is that it becomes the focus instead of it being just a factor.
That's one of the arguments we like to talk about Mary Sue's when we talk about Mary Poppins. Like, she's pretty much a Mary Sue, but the story's not about her. She's a side character, so this plot is not affected. It's just she's there as a supporting role, and everything else around her, the story of the kids and their family life, that's the focus.
Why can't she be the main character?
Even if
she's not gay Spider-Man.
Yeah, well, even
Why can't Mary
if she
Poppins
liked
be the main character? We need women representation.
Even if Mary Poppins was like a
women representation,
listen, think of the children. They need a role model to look up to.
But the movie is called Mary Poppins, so she must be the main character.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's really sexist. You made the main character a side character.
The new character is Gary Poppins.
Gary
Okay. Gary Poppins.
Larry Poppins and the gay briefcase.
And he's American now.
He's American now. And he's played by what is it? Some guy
Danny
that's
DeVito.
totally inappropriate. Danny
He's like Danny DeVito.
Oh god.
I wanted to actually.
I'm Mary Poppins.
I mean, Danny DeVito already played one person with an umbrella, so you can play another one.
Why not?
I can probably put on a German accent.
Penguin.
He's speaking German very well.
All right, let's get back to the video, if you can call it that.
In a more tolerant, accepting world where people have normalized or at least are in the process of normalizing, showcasing same-sex relationships.
Buzzword.
Yeah, they're appeasing the gays.
Not just normalizing.
There's nothing wrong with that. I'm gonna play you a little sad.
Yes, there is.
Die
yes,
mad,
there is.
dude. This is the problem. Okay, so this attitude that he has. Imagine if it was just rejected at him. He's like, "Ha, you want more representation of the gays? Die mad, bitch." Fuck you, motherfucker.
They're not normalizing anything. They're pushing it. And that's the different thing from normalizing. If you normalize it, then you would get well-written characters, well-written stories, but this is just around, as we just said.
It would be natural. It wouldn't even be a fucking blip on the radar. All right, there was a great example that I found recently of this was Cyberpunk 2077. There was this one character, I can't remember her name. She was the bartender, if you guys have played it. By the way, the game shit. But turns out, going through about like half of her storyline, I was just like, I hope this ends with me banging her. Turns out she's trans. And she just drops it with,
damn, you're gay.
Yeah, I'm a fag. It's whatever.
Just fucking with you.
I was just like, whoa, because she dropped it with, my husband was there for me when I was going through my hormone therapy, and that was it. And at the end of the mission, at the end of her storyline, it's never brought up again, by the way. At the end of her storyline, you get her truck. On the back of her truck is this little, it's like the size of a business card. It's a trans flag sticker.
Classy.
That was the only two things in there. I'm just like, it had nothing to do with her character. It was very subtle, and I actually appreciated that it wasn't shoved down my throat.
And now we know that you're totally gay.
I will bang if you pass.
I would have to play that part to give a judgment on it. I'm personally, just not a fan of this flag with the baby colors.
Yeah, me neither. It's a little weird.
It's a weird looking flag.
I'm not a fan of people's sexual orientation being represented by a flag.
Yes,
then I
exactly.
want to
or medical
join
conditions.
the National Straight German Workers' Party. And here's our flag.
Where's the cancer flag?
I want to
Where's
flag
the
for...
hypothyroidism flag.
I wanna
Chat,
flag-
yes, chat. I know Pan Am is best girl. I know.
No,
Judy is
Judy
also
is
best
best
girl.
girl.
Judy is also best girl. Trust me. Yes,
Psych,
I agree.
none of them are best girl. Best girl is fucking V. No, I'm just kidding. Best girl is Keanu.
I won't disagree. The best girl was Keanu. Pan Am all the way. Pan Am. Yes, I know.
No, fuck Pan Am. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, you fuck her in a tank with a mental link, and oh my god, it's hot.
Sounds good to me. Demolition Man.
So
Also, diversity.
about a video. The problem, and I think this is he's displaying this very very prominently, that they're not aware, the SJWs are not aware of the difference between normalizing, natural, well-written, and ham-fisted. It's all the same for them. Or rather the natural, well-written stuff is maybe I should correct that. The well-written and natural stuff it's not enough for them because they need a stronger stimulus. They're not stimulated enough by a well-written well-written script, by a well-written show. They need the in-your-face stuff so that they can be positively triggered, so that they can get the dopamine rush. I think they don't understand it any other way.
They're not even human, bro. They need to learn how to human. We got to send them back to the educational camps. Maybe then they'll understand.
I wouldn't say
Send them to
that
chop some
harshly,
wood.
but it's not
I'm just
entirely
kidding.
wrong. They haven't grown up enough. So they're children. So children are humans, but they're not fully developed yet. So
You're being sent
Message
to the
coming
Jordan Peterson Educational
Patch into
Center,
it.
where you will be forced to make your room every day and eat at
Make
proper
your
hours.
bed, you're
and no, you
strawman.
can't do
Yeah,
drugs.
and
and
you
no,
will
you can't
get
go
a-
out tonight. You have to stay in bed, and you have to get a job. You fucking hippie.
yeah, and you
That's
will
what's
get
the future
you
for
will get a
SJWs.
pet lobster that you have to take care of.
No Steven Universe. Yeah, Pet Lobster.
What?
Welcome
Lobster.
to the rest of your life.
Oh,
You
dear.
get to live the rest of your life as a lobster, but you can only answer questions vaguely. Perhaps.
Here's Francis Board Coppola. Thank you. Glib.
Nice.
I was about to take a sip. Fuck you, Smud.
It's his name. I'm just speaking it.
It's not Smut's fault.
It's all Smud's fault.
Glib believes in the dark-skinned tomboy supremacy. I mean, don't we
The
all?
dark skin. Yeah, hell yeah, bro.
Dark
I can
skin
sign up for
Hell
tomboy.
that.
yeah.
I simp for
awesome.
tomboys. I'm gonna be real.
I love the racism accusations, and I'm like, yeah, but I would fuck everybody. So fuck you, bitch. And I
Fuck
like hanging
you.
out with people, and I like eating everybody's food, and I like dancing with the stupid dances that you do and your weird culture, and I don't give a shit. And we're all gonna die. Synecdoche, New York.
I just want Pan Am to be a real girl instead of a body pillow in my.
Get over your stupid video games. Get with the times, man. Come on.
Oh right, we go on r/rule 34.
Based and read pilled.
Okay.
Based and read pilled.
You gotta lighten up a little bit, man.
Boss said and Redemption 2 pilled. There we go.
All right.
I got a plan. Listen, I got a plan, okay?
I got a plan, Arthur. I just need $2 trillion in taxpayer stimulus.
always got a plan. Whatever
I just need a Desert Eagle chambered in 50 Action Express.
Listen, Morty, I got a plan. Arthur.
Morty,
I don't know.
we're gonna go to Tahiti, Morty.
I don't know.
I'm Tahiti Rick.
Pickle Morty.
Morty.
All right, I am
He turned himself into a pickle.
fine with getting back on video. Let's get back to this video so we can.
Yep.
Smud will be able to go home before Christmas.
All right.
Canadian
song on the world's smallest violin. Here's an impossible whopper. Get your estrogen levels up. Now on to Spider-Man. See, the problem with people having a problem with this type of alteration to a character includes the fact that there are so many fucking Spider-Men, it's unreal. Just alone, theatrically, there are 3 live-action Spider-Men and 8 animated ones. As for video games and cartoons, these niggas are in their own universe. It is not abnormal that some of the Spider-Men out of a whole Spider-Verse likes dick. Shit, some of these are women, some of these are black, some are Japanese and pilot a robot, some aren't even human and are made up of multiple spiders that act like Peter Parker in a Spider-Man suit. I want to stress that that's not even a joke. Like, it sounds like hyperbole, but that's not a joke. The Spider-Verse is fucking weird, man. There's a British guy. Point is, one of them being gay isn't exactly outlandish or crazy. And there shouldn't be a problem with it because people literally love Miles Morales. I love Miles Morales. But it's the same concept. Just switch race with sexuality. If you have no problem with Miles, then you shouldn't have a problem with an LGBT Spider-Man. And if you do,
I don't
then you're
have a
weirdo.
problem with an LGBT Spider-Man. I have a problem with you taking the mainstream Spider-Man, our main one, that it
Why do you want to see
primary Spider-Man and just changing him completely?
Why do you want to take the hero from my childhood and fuck him in the ass?
Like, I also had a problem
with you.
I love Zendaya. I think Zendaya is a great fucking person. I had a problem with her being portrayed as Mary Jane. Because one, that's not Mary Jane Watson. Fuck you. 2,
Mary Jane
she doesn't act like Mary Jane Watson. 3, Mary Jane Watson's not black. Why are you making the white character black? But if I take a black character, take it and turn it white, everyone's gonna lose their mind.
I'm pretty sure
it's all angry. Part of the plan.
Like, if I went ahead and made Black Panther and turned him into like a blue-haired, blonde-haired Aryan, I'm pretty sure they'd be pretty angry. Pretty sure, I'm guessing.
What about German?
I say I'm gonna blow up a bus full of prisoners and nobody cares. It's all part of the plan.
It's all part of it's not about money, it's about sending a message.
It's not about money, it's about gay rights.
Do I really look like a guy with a plan? Honestly.
That was a really good Joker impression, Glib. Good job.
That's kind of what Biden ran on. Am I look like a guy with a plan? Come on.
Do I look like a guy with
come on, man.
Plan?
What about this video though?
Do I look like a guy with a plan?
Michelle?
Do I look like a guy that's
covering
the video? This is just so insufferable.
It's not about money. It's about sending a message.
It's not about money. It's about Obama.
Joe Obama.
Come on, man.
Here is Francis Bordacopolo again. Thank you, sir. Headcanon that all these Spider-Men are homophobic.
I love it. That's hilarious. In every iteration, infinite amount of Spider-Verses. All of them are homophobic.
I want every Spider-Man to just like be secretly mega racist. Like just mega racist. Every time they like rescue an Asian guy, they're just like thinking in their head.
Can a racist character be heroic? I have a video.
No, LiteratureDevil. Don't write a video.
They save lives, but they call them the N-word when they do.
the thing about the Marvel multiverse is that there are always certain constants. Like all the Spider-Mans kind of have this girlfriend thing going on. There's always some sort of Mary Jane or something. And so if you have a gay Spider-Man, if you have a gay Spider-Man, there needs to be an equivalent to that.
Martin Jane.
I'm always around Mary Jane
and
too.
if we go that route, then we can have an infinite number of racist Spider-Man as well.
Michelle,
when's that comic gonna be made? And movie, because these people want to make the movie like that.
Yeah, just get on the representation ball. Have more. The racists need to have more representation in media.
I want to play Spider-Man. Get over it. You're just mad because you're not gay.
Boom. Spider-Man straight now. You're just mad. Okay.
You're just mad because you're not.
I'm mad, Chuds.
Listen, straight Spider-Man is Obama now. All right, deal with it.
You are just mad because you don't have tits.
Yeah, that's it. With the BioWare ladies, you're just mad.
By the way, I'm going to give you another props real quick. You fucking nailed that with boob envy the other day. You knocked it out of the park. That's exactly what it is.
But it's a life experience. The women just don't talk about it because nobody wants to admit it. But if you
have boob envy,
Yeah, they do.
no, like the set dreams.
I have
dreams.
I have envy. I have finishing the video envy.
Oh dear, let's get going. Alex Halo, he didn't mention Penny Parker, anime girl, therefore racist. What?
Shut up.
What about Penis Parker?
Yeah, racist.
I was about to say that. I was like,
Fucking
what is
racist.
Penny Parker? Who is that?
I need
Peeny
more
Parker.
She was a character from the Into the Spider-Verse. She was actually an anime version of Spider-Man.
Oh.
She had like instead of a suit, she had a big Spider-Man robot thing that she kind of rode around in.
Interesting.
These
All
are
right.
too low quality.
Also, by the way,
This is low quality?
Penny Parker is
Yeah.
also the pseudonym of the one lady who exposed the Whisper Network in comic books. It was pretty awesome.
All right. Let's
I'll
get
get
going.
the high quality ones for you, Glib.
No, you don't have to do that. There's no need.
It's the idea of telling
I can.
MCU Spider-Man dating a guy. Have you seen Spider-Man's love life? He's never with someone stably in these fucking movies. Someone dies.
So-
Someone has
Mary Jane.
Is that
Mary Jane's
is that
pretty
a
stable.
spine joke?
She's an abusive twat, but she's pretty stable.
They're always women.
They
Yeah.
love to do that thing with Peter Parker where he doesn't stay with Mary Jane, even though so clearly they're like compatible as characters and their love story makes sense and it's co-signed and all this shit. They love to like try and go, but who would Spider-Man really end up with? What about Betty Brant? What about Liz? Whatever. What about the Hobgoblin?
It's like
What
I'm
if
gonna
he
keep
fucked
it buck.
Hobgoblin?
Probably
Like,
gonna be,
nobody
Mary
cares. I think it's really just fucked up that the people that like stuff like Spider-Man that are getting into the new stuff, you know, they're kids and you can easily give them new content because it's just the same fucking stories over and over and over again. You know what I mean? And then at the same time, fans that are at a certain point with a series, I feel like they should probably fucking move on. Like with Spider-Man, I don't know why you'd expect there to ever be good Spider-Man ever again, except for like a couple times when some guy that was really into it
The
came
PS4
back
game.
and was given the
It was really
ability to do
Message
it.
coming
Yeah.
in.
What?
I don't
Patching
know.
it through.
I don't have a PS4. I haven't played it.
Oh, go get a PS4 and play it.
No, I'm not paying
All right, then.
$550 to do the swinging. But I like
Okay.
it. I like the idea of it.
Message
But what
coming
I'm
in.
saying is like
Patching it through.
we keep going back to these same old characters instead of buying into the new characters because they're not putting out new characters. It's just keep doing the same thing over and over again. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills sometimes because we can never just move on to some new character. It's always got to be the billionth time that Spider-Man has his uncle get killed and he says, with great power comes great responsibility. You know, it's like, how many times do you want to do that?
You're right on that, and there's a very sad judgment I have to give on that, and that is also kind of how do I say this without sounding like a complete ass. If you read fan fiction stuff, it's also always like that, especially if you go into the sexual fetishes. It's always about this one thing. When you have sex fetish fan fiction, there are portals about this stuff online with 99.999% of this is garbage, and then you have this one awesome story where you think, okay, there's this one thing in there, but the rest of it is an amazing story. With these things, is with all the US comics that reboot and reboot and reboot. It's always the same story. It's always about this one event and this other event and the third event. It always goes through the same things. It is essentially like these online portals where you can read fan fiction that has always the 1, 2, 3 fetishes in them. And it's drivel, 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 and the scene. Drivel, 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 the scene. Drivel, 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 the scene. When the Twilight books and the 50 Shades of Grey, essentially fan fiction of the Twilight books, came out, I knew a bunch of girls who were reading these, especially the 50 Shades of Grey thing, and they were just skimming through the book. They never read the whole book. They were skimming through the book for the next sex scene. In the same way that Mr. Garrison in South Park, when he started writing this gay sex stuff, his sex novels, and became an author, he understood this completely, or the authors of South Park did, that women just skim through the stuff to get to the fetish scene. And it's sad. So the with the US comics, it's not it's not sexual fetishes, but it is this scene again, Uncle Ben dying again, saying the line. It's again Gwen Stacy dying again the same way. It's just always again the same elements. It's
on top of that,
it's like fetish stories.
Hold on, wait. With that thought, what's going to happen is then they're going to go, oh yeah, well, haven't we done this a billion times? Let's do it differently this time. And it's like, no, just stop doing the same thing over and over again. But they can't. And the only way that this is going to end is if people give up on actual fans. And that's why I'm like, holy shit, I see the game now. You're locked into a contract with this character that's now controlled by people who are not going to give you a return on your investment in the character's existence. So you can keep buying this character. It might not get better. It's probably going to get worse over time because they're going to keep doing the same thing over and over again, looking for new ways to do it and increasingly dumb ways of going about it.
Yeah, and you only lose money if you sell.
And that's the difference too. I when I was a kid, I watched the Batman animation, the cartoon that was really dark and really mature for being a cartoon. And later on, it didn't run at stable time, so I couldn't watch it entirely. I think it was called Nightwing, where this was a bit in the future. Bruce Wayne was old and just sitting in his wheelchair or something, and at the screens, and basically being the coordinator for Nightwing, the young guy to whom he had passed the torch. That is something you can do. Just go through to the next generation, and maybe you can have a third generation where Nightwing is old. You are even further in the future, even more sci-fi. Maybe you have your space station bullshit at that point, and then Bruce Wayne is more like this legendary idol,
like Batman Beyond.
That is just the.
Have you seen Batman Beyond?
That's what he was describing.
Mr. Wayne.
I couldn't say. Probably not.
Yeah, you're describing Batman Beyond.
Okay, maybe I should watch it.
Yes. I suggest it. It's good. Yeah. It's good kids show.
I just got lost in the number of Batman movies and shows and everything, and just gave up.
I think Batman Beyond is even canon. I think Batman Beyond is even canon within the universe, at least the animated universe.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, like the Justice League Batman will eventually become the Batman from Batman Beyond.
Huh.
All right. Well, let's keep on
Bruce
going.
Wayne, that is.
Well, you guys want to take a break? Do you want to call it a night? It's up to you. We almost had 3 hours. I don't know if you want to.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to be able to finish this tonight.
I don't want to finish the video either. I don't care.
Sorry.
This guy's arguments are basically like, what? You don't want gay Spider-Man? Fuck you. And I'm like, okay, fine. Fuck you then. I'm okay with that.
I mean, it's fun. But,
yeah. And if they did, I'm not going to do anything. I'm still not going to buy new Spider-Man shit. I'm over it. So it's like, the argument now is just me laughing at
Spider-Man. I don't even like the character.
I used to collect that shit, but I haven't seen a good Spider-Man arc in a long time. So if they make all these changes and make it even worse, I'm just gonna laugh at it. And you can make all the apologetics you want and say fuck you to the audience that wanted to buy it. I'm laughing at the entire comic industry falling apart around me. Meanwhile, I'm thinking about making a comic myself. That was a dream I had as a kid. So I don't give a shit. Make all the superheroes gay, then all the people that don't like that, or whatever it is that you're doing, like diversity, whatever it is that you're doing with a self-righteous attitude that's putting people off, I'll just take over the people that want something else and show them, hey, look at all this stuff. Get Dr. Alpha on Indiegogo.
Absolutely.
Subscribe to Adam Post. Subscribe to Michael Bancroft. Comicscape, bitches.
Subscribe to Zach Reeds.
Let's wrap it up. Let's get the super chats going.
Unsubscribe from Glib.
Unsubscribe.
I hate that guy. He's a racist, sexist, misogynophobe.
Misogynophobe. That's a new one.
Here's Joe Crazy. If there are infinite Spider-Men, odds are that one of them wears a spider-themed clan robe. Huh. That's definitely a possibility in the
It's different.
Yeah, that is definitely a possibility. Okay. Yeah, Francis Board Copel again. Thank you. You say peacock, no one cares. You say poopcock.
What was that?
Poopcock.
It's all
poopcock.
I don't know. What's he talking about?
Everyone loses their minds.
Yeah.
Peacock, no one cares.
Joe Crazy. He will be named the Intolerant Spider Clan. Oh.
Why do you wear the mask, Spider-Man? To give symbolic credence to the clan. Spider-Man's a racist menace. I'm J. Jonah Jameson.
Get me more pictures of Spider-Man. Spider Clan. Fuck, I fucked it up. I'm gonna go now.
All right, gentlemen.
See,
that was 3 hours of an angry guy who's good at doing the video thing. He's got lots of views and viewers. He, I don't know why he's taking this strange stance as if it's okay when he does it. Or when
he's a good person. He's a good person, Smud Boy. He's a good person. He's such a good person. Look at all the morals he has.
He doesn't really care, but he really cares.
Don't know yet to what conclusion he comes eventually. It's 10 minutes away, so probably
it's 5 hours away.
10 hours.
Yeah, well,
10 hours away. Yeah,
we're almost half done. But yeah, well, if we might do this tomorrow if we have time. I definitely am doing another Smud Talk about different topics. So if you guys want, or if I get some other people to wrangle them in, and we'll get finishing this off.
Thank you.
We'll just do another one. I don't know.
Thank you for having me on, and for
it's been a while, Glib. We missed you.
That was cool. Yeah.
I missed you.
I've been really, really busy with personal life stuff and trying to get stuff around here finished. So
okay.
There's so much to do. It's actually very exciting.
Good to hear.
Awesome.
That's great to hear. Yeah.
It's okay, Glib. One day you'll get your computer working.
One day.
One day your computer will work.
I know.
You know, I don't think I've ever had a computer that actually worked. I think I just made them run for long enough before they fell apart. Like I've never had a 100% working computer.
I'm glad I finally was able to. I cracked the code, so to speak. I finally got
if you could uncrack the code, maybe my computer would work.
All of the working computer energy finally came over to me.
Maybe I shouldn't download my OS from LimeWire.
Yes, I love giving my computer aids.
And also thanks for bearing with me. I still do. My tangents go on a very, very, very far away.
You have good tangents, but you take up so much time that we didn't get through the video. It was great though.
It was all my fault. I take full responsibility.
Wisp, you're turning the frickin' frogs gay. God damn it!
No, that is the one thing I do not.
You don't turn frogs gay? Why not?
No.
Explain yourself.
What am I to? What should I? What do I need gay frogs for?
Yeah,
why wouldn't you need gay frogs?
You think
of
just
the possibilities, Wisp?
Why? Because he's German. He has a problem with French people. That's racist.
Wow.
No, but there's this frog girl from what's the
Hero Academia
Walmart show?
Yeah, Hero Academia.
Yeah, Sue.
Yeah, she's great. Why would I want to change any of that?
I love Sue. She's best girl on the show. I'm gonna be.
Why can't I remember names anymore?
Getting older.
Lots of coffee.
Oh fuck.
All right.
Welcome to old age.
Season 4 of My Hero Academia out yet?
No.
That's just too mainstream for me, Zach. I couldn't answer that question. I'm sorry.
Remember,
it's
everybody,
so good.
to be more diverse, all of you. Okay? That's the lesson here.
I say 10 diversities before you go to bed every night.
And then change their sexuality, then change their sex, then change their hair color, then change their hairstyle, then change their t-shirt. Yeah, just keep changing.
Always remember to say 10 hail diversities every night.
Oh my God.
Remember, in LiteratureDevil speak, that really just only means that you have to take the D, whether you want to or not. So do it.
R Master DX, Zach reads, you just like the tongue action. You're not wrong.
All right, I think we've had enough.
All right. Oh, no, another super chat.
Of the tongue action or the Smudcast?
Yes.
Yes, both. You all happy you were... What? You all happy you were too busy making Pickle Rick jokes
Message coming in.
than actually analyzing.
Patching it through.
We didn't make one Pickle Rick joke. Except for Zach.
I made a Pickle Rick joke.
If you wanted serious commentary from me and you didn't get that and you feel disappointed, and genuinely, well, I'm sorry. You know what I mean?
Well, there's always the prequel debate over on EFAP that you can watch for a serious critique.
Oh yeah, and that's even better. But no. But like the real analysis is like, okay, diversity isn't political, right? Okay, we know that. But as I said when I walked in after listening for a long time, like,
white power.
Yeah, exactly. No, what I was really saying was that people are, inherently diverse on the planet. And what you're asking for is you're asking for characters to change against what they are known as. And that you feel justified in doing it because of the iteration of it over many times. And my suggestion in both times was to create your own stuff. And I don't understand how you counter that with, you're just a fucking piece of shit. What is there to analyze there? There's nothing to analyze when someone just says, deal with it, fucker. That's all that it is.
Conversation's over.
Yeah. And if anyone ever wants to shit with me on TLJ, I still haven't done enough of that. I'm not done with it yet. I need to get that Steam out at some point.
And if anybody wants to see my endless stream of content, go to Zach Reads.
I think Mateus was always listing a whole bunch of YouTube channels in the chat throughout the stream. I don't know why he does that, but thank you, Mateus.
I upload every day.
Really?
Yeah, I have nothing on my, so don't bother.
Okay.
That's just
don't check my channel, but I upload every day.
That reminds me, I uploaded this morning. I'm still waiting for YouTube to approve it. It's taking so long, but probably because it's a bit racy and it involves Vosh. So what can you say?
It was a little too red-pilled.
Oh boy, it's something. Right? Anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. We'll talk to you real soon. Maybe tomorrow on the same topic. Definitely a Smud Talk. We're talking about Mass Effect and all the wonderful interview with Mac Walters, and that'll happen sometime before 5 tomorrow. And then we'll do another Smudcast if we have the time. But thank you. Have yourself a great evening, and good night. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.